Screen over there, the governor along with the chief minister will be inviting in a new list of ministers and MLAs, in fact, who will be sworn in today. Some of those faces on your screen. Now remember, there has been a lot of last-minute Nataka in the Karnataka Cabinet expansion. Some 2 weeks, if not more, of waiting, where DK Shivakumar was here in the national capital trying to get a fix on the list, sitting down with Rahul Gandhi and several others, and then finally acknowledging that there were people within the party who were unhappy with this expansion and saying that there were times when even I missed out on a cabinet position. That is DK Shivakumar giving his own example to his other party colleagues and MLAs. Now, what exactly has been this back and forth? Let me give you a little bit about that. Only 19 ministers are taking oath today, unlike 20, which was discussed earlier. As usual, we've seen in this entire cabinet expansion, there are some resignations that are flown in, and then some which are taken back. Then there is a change in the name list, and then a new one comes into place. Earlier on, in fact, there was a list of 20 that was released by the Congress party, and then we were told that there is a typo error, and then when the list came back, it had only 19 people. Sage, our reporter who's been tracking all the details on this story and cabinet expansion, now joins us for the very latest on the story. Naga Arjun is also with us, who's been tracking all those details. Sage, let me come to you first. The list of 20, then becoming 19, some happy, some unhappy. DK Shivakumar accepting that not everybody is happy. What really is going on?
So nothing less than a suspense thriller movie in the state of Karnataka. You can get to watch every twist and turns in this particular cabinet expansion. You have waited 2 months for this particular cabinet expansion. End of the day, when the list is out, suddenly there are changes, and usually these kind of changes never happens. But in this list, early in the morning, there was a person's name, and later on, within 1 or 2 hours, he has been replaced. It has been a roller coaster for him. In 1 hour, being a minister to an MLA, back to an MLA. And after that, there was a name of MLC, Gayatri Shantagowda, who was not even taken oath as an MLC. Her name was being listed, and later on it was being put on hold. And as we speak now, 19 MLAs will be taking oath as a minister of Karnataka. As we speak now, the first person will be on the stage where the governor of Karnataka will be administering oath for him. And what you also get to learn is there were a lot of infighting within the Congress, stating that when a first-time MLA, she is not even taken oath as an MLC, first-time MLC, she is not even taken oath as an MLC. You are giving cabinet birth to her, whereas there are many of the senior leaders, senior Congress party MLAs and MLC who have been associated with the Congress for a long time. Why don't you give importance to them? So there are a lot of infighting within the Congress, and that only woman candidate who was supposed to take an oath today has put on hold. So a lot of discussion which is still happening. Meanwhile, one of the MLAs from Indi constituency, he has already tendered his resignation, and another MLA from Shivakumar, Belur Gopalakrishna, has said that he will tender his resignation tomorrow. And there are 3 to 4 MLAs supporters who are out on the street protesting against the Congress and demanding that their leader to tender his resignation because Congress is not rewarding them with a cabinet berth.
All right. So there is never a dull moment when it comes to Karnataka. First, it was the back and forth on who will be the chief minister. Now, a back and forth on who the cabinet colleagues are really going to be. But to give you a glimpse, really, Karnataka at the moment has about 14 ministers, including the chief minister, and against the maximum permitted strength of 34. And now 20 vacancies which were in the Council of Ministers that are getting filled in there. Let me cut across to my colleague Naga Arjun as well. Naga, give me a sense of this 20th name which is constantly doing back and forth, and especially that of a woman MLA. Are we to understand as of this moment that of the names that we know of right now, 33 if I'm not wrong, out of the 34 names are clear. Out of those, we don't have a single woman MLA, or do we have some there?
No woman MLA in this cabinet as of now. There's no woman minister. These 33 will be all male ministers at this point of time. The one name that was of Gayatri Shantagowda has been held back by both CM and the ex-CM. High Command had sent back the list in the morning, but however, Gayatri Shantagowda's name is not here in the Raj Bhavan. The CM has not forwarded her name, so it's on hold as of now. Maybe in this week, one more woman MLA will be accommodated in the ministry, is what we are told. As of now, it's pure male driven cabinet, 33 MLAs of one gender in the cabinet. And a lot of critics are calling out Congress, saying that you speak of the women reservation in the parliament, but you're not walking the talk. Where is that woman representation in the cabinet? It's just not tokenism, but you have so many deserving women MLA and MLCs. Why are you not accommodating them? Is what many critics are also saying. In fact, at this point of time, I am right now. I'm right now in Raj Bhavan. I'm in Raj Bhavan right now, where the swearing in is happening. Mr. Balkrishna is on stage as we speak, and there's no woman MLA Sonal as of now.
Right. So 33 out of 34 names in the Karnataka cabinet are now clear. Not a single one of them is a female.
Shri Balakrishna
And
Ivarannu,
we'll keep dipping in. We'll keep dipping into Go's pictures and you watch that swearing in as that happens. But let me go back to Naga and Sagai for a moment. Naga, any sense of how exactly the vetting process happened? How exactly did they zero in on these 19 names that we are seeing today? What are you hearing?
It's largely based on caste balance, regional balance, and their merit also. And Rahul Gandhi was specific about few ministers has to be fresh faces. They need to bring fresh air into the cabinet, and hence the first two candidates who took oath right now. You saw Ajay Singh and Balakrishna. Both of them have been MLAs earlier, but now they are taking oath as the first-time ministers, and that's what Rahul Gandhi meant. The seniors will have to take care of the party ahead of the 2028 elections. And MLAs who have never been ministers must be given a chance. So there was social balance, regional balance, and caste balance to ensure that these 19 were chosen by High Command.
All right, let me get a word from Sage as well. Sage, so what Naga is basically saying is that there is regional balance, there is caste balance, there is an age balance, but clearly no gender balance when it comes to this cabinet. That's pretty clear. But at the moment, how exactly is DK Shivakumar looking at these names? Are we to understand that all these names have been finalized not just by Rahul Gandhi in the center, but has the green light of DK Shivakumar as well, that these are the names that he batted for?
See, nobody is speaking about it, whether it is DK Shivakumar or Siddaramaiah. Both of them will say that it is the High Command's decision. But the recommendations are given by both these top leaders for the state of Karnataka. One is the former Chief Minister and the other one is the sitting Chief Minister, DK Shivakumar. They have given their own list, and however, it is AICC who have to take the final decision. And if you notice that there are 7 Lingayats who will be given the post in the cabinet berth. Apart from that, 5 Vokkaligas will be taking oath, and 3 ST ministers will be taking oath, and 7 ministers from backward class, and with the deputy speaker, both the houses also from the backward classes community. And there are also minorities who will be taking oaths along with all these people. Close to 2 minority MLAs will be taking oath as the minister, and there is also Chairman of Legislative Council, Salim Ahmad, will be the chairman of the council, and he's also from minority committee. So there are a lot of caste calculation which has been done. And even if you notice that there is a systematic rule which has been followed by the Karnataka Congress. Whenever a person has been given a highest post, for an example, if DK Shivakumar is from Vokkaliga community, he is given a highest post, and they will give the other portfolios to the other caste community people, especially Lingayat, Veerashaiva and OBC. When Siddaramaiah was the Chief Minister, there are very less people who have been accommodated in the cabinet from the OBC community. See, others were given important, Vokkaliga, Lingayat and Veerashaiva. So they want to ensure that there is a proper balancing which has been done, and likewise even now they claim that the balance has been done. But still, the larger question is the women. there was only one woman who has been mentioned as the cabinet minister will be taking oath, but even that is put on hold. Why she has been put on hold? What is the reason? Because at the last minute, there were a lot of discussion within the party stating that she has not even taken oath as an MLC, and she's a first-time MLC. Why you need to give her a cabinet berth when there are already so many leaders who work for the party have not got the opportunity?
All right. Naga, come in on this point that, there seems to be a thought process in getting younger people, in getting representation spread across, different castes and different regions as well. But at the moment, if you look at the priorities for the Karnataka government, it is water. If you look at the priorities for Karnataka government, these are urban issues that the state is fighting as well. Give us a sense of where do you think are the top 3 issues where most of the cabinet time will be going after now? They have a full cabinet now.
Could you please repeat? The audio is poor because, pardon me, because there's a lot of ambience noise. Could you please repeat?
I'm trying to understand from you, what do you think will be the top 5 priorities for this newly formed cabinet to look into? I know water is one. What about the rest?
No, immediately the priorities will be of the water resource dispute. The cabinet together as a whole. Second is about the drought or the monsoon deficit that the cabinet is facing. 40% deficit of rainfall across the state. That's a concern. Law and order issues, the concern, and also the next big priority will also be leading into these 2028 assembly elections. There's ZPTP elections that will be happening. There's Bangalore Municipal Council elections that is happening. So a lot of challenges at task at the government's hand right now. The priority is said that they don't have time to be casual or complacent. They have hands full right now. Ample number of issues to solve by the Karnataka cabinet.
If Sagai, while Naga tries to fix his audio over there, can we cut across to Sagai as well, if we have him? I just want to understand, Sagai, we look at the actual problem that citizens, that people in Karnataka face at the moment, which is the water crisis, the Kaveri water dispute, for which Tamil Nadu and Karnataka have to come to an agreement. We are told that the 2 chief ministers will be meeting. There'll be some kind of an aerial survey that will follow as well. But in middle of a crisis like that, a swearing in to happen in these lavish setups, is it really lavish according to Karnataka standards? Give me a sense of how you're seeing this swearing in.
No, it is not actually lavish according to the Karnataka stand. If I just show you, this is the security outside here, and there is a setup. It is a permanent structure which has been put inside Lok Bhavan, and the arrangement was made probably a week back when DK Shivakumar was in Delhi. So it is not a grand kind of oath-taking ceremony which has been organized by the Karnataka government. It will be a simple oath-taking ceremony which is happening, and thankfully there are heavy rains in the Kaveri Delta region, especially catchment area, and because of that, the close to 4 TMCs of water has already been released to Tamil Nadu, according to the water resource minister. So everything is in place as of now. Yes, there were a shortage of water last week, but weekend there was heavy rains which was been reported. One of the dams was full, and the water was being released close to 12,000 cusecs probably on Saturday. And after that, as of now, what we get to learn through our sources is close to 4 TMCs of water which has already been released, because there are heavy rains which have been reported in Kerala and in the Kaveri Delta region. And so nothing to worry about the water crisis here in the state of Karnataka. And the cabinet expansion, which was supposed to happen, it has been a due. It is close to 2 months that DK Shivakumar on the first set of cabinet ministers took oath. And it is after 2 months the remaining MLAs are taking oath as a minister. So it was a long due from the state of Karnataka, and thankfully it is happening now, and probably it will put an end to the controversy over the cabinet expansion and cabinet reshuffle in the state of Karnataka.
Okay. Sagai, help me understand this. You now have the final cabinet, almost all 34 except 1, right? You have all the names. Compare DK Shivakumar's cabinet for me to that of Siddaramaiah, and tell me, what do you see as stark differences on both sides?
See, most of the MLAs or the ministers have already been repeated, whether it is the first time ministers who had taken oath along with the DK Shivakumar, most of them were from Siddaramaya's camp. But this time, what we also get to learn through our sources is that there is a lot of calculation which has been done, especially after Tamil Nadu election and the Gen Z protests in Jantar Mantar. AICC wanted a lot of youngsters to come in and ensure that they help the party to grow and address the issues of the youngsters. And they were trying to push for the first time MLAs and MLCs. But if you notice, many of them are repeated MLAs. They were like a second time or third time MLA. They have given opportunity, like Rizwan Arshad is a third time MLA. He's got an opportunity now. And if you notice, A.S. Ponnanna was one of those front runner to become the cabinet minister, was given a deputy speaker's post. So there are a lot of calculation which has been done. Whether it is caste calculation or the district calculation, a lot of calculation has been done, and everybody has, most of them who were front runner have got the opportunity this time in the cabinet berth.
All right, interesting how the mix is really happening and the input that has come in, especially after the Jantar Mantar protests of bringing in younger people inside the cabinet. Sagai and Naga, please stay back with us. I just want to quickly play out for our viewers exactly what DK Shivakumar had to say on this entire Nartaka over the cabinet reshuffle just moments before it actually happened. Take a look.
ರಾಜ್ಭವನ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಕಳ್ಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನ ಶಾಸಕರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಜನ ಅರ್ಹರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಪಕ್ಷ ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕೂಡ 2004ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಿರಿ ನನ್ನೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನವ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲೂ ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ತಾಳ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಇದ್ದದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೂತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ತಾಳ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ನಾವು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಾಳ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇರಬೇಕು.
All right, more updates coming in. This is senior Congress Neta Dinesh Gundurao, who has expressed disappointment over DK's cabinet. What exactly is he saying? He's saying it is disappointing that after so many years of service to the state and the party, I have not been considered to serve the government in this cabinet. I am disappointed by the decision taken without being given any reason for my exclusion. So, Dinesh Gundurao not included in the Karnataka Cabinet and now making his disappointment very, very public. Let me check if we have... Okay, we have Sagai that we can get a perspective from. Sagai, help me understand how important is Dinesh Gundurao in the Cabinet? What was his portfolio earlier? And is it a threat? Does the Congress party stand to lose? Also give us a sense of his experience.
Sir, he's a six-time MLA from Karnataka Congress party, and he is a son of former Chief Minister Gundurao. And if you notice that he has worked in multiple roles, whether it was a KPCC president or in charge of Tamil Nadu as well as the AICC General Secretary, he played a major role. He is a party man, and he worked for the party, and he was also a former health minister. He was health minister in Siddaramaya's tenure, and much before that he was also Food and Civil Supplies Minister, and thereafter he was made as a Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee President, and he worked for a brief period, and thereafter he was also appointed as in charge of Goa as well as Tamil Nadu Congress, and thereafter he also worked in Delhi as a AICC chief. So he is an important leader in the state of Karnataka. He comes from a Brahmin community, and he is disappointed. Even his wife has put out a message on social media stating that despite giving 100% for the party, he has not been recognized, and they also feel that it is the calculation which has been done on the caste basis, and none of the Brahmins got opportunity as of now in this particular cabinet. There were two MLAs from the Brahmins community. One is Dinesh Gundurao, the other one is Sarvi Deshpande, and both of them did not get a cabinet berth. And there are a lot of calculation which has been done by the High Command, and now he has put out a message showing his disappointment on social media, stating that despite working for the party, he has not got an opportunity.
All right, but Sagai, Karnataka also a state notorious for netas switching parties, being, poached by different parties, doing resort politics. All of this is what we relate Karnataka with, right? Help me understand, does Dinesh Gundu Rao pose a threat of any sort in terms of the vote base that he brings in or the clout that he has over other MLAs?
So not only Karnataka, if you notice that these kind of things usually happen in most of the states, and in Karnataka we see this kind of development only during the time of elections, or when you have a fracture mandate like how it happened in 2018. And Dinesh Gundu Rao is a hardcore congressman. He worked in multiple roles, as I told you earlier, and he has not mentioned anything about that. He said that he will continue to work for the party, he will continue to serve the people in the present government.
All right, Sagai, we leave it there for the moment. Thanks so much for joining us, covering all 360 degrees of that swearing in of the cabinet expansion that's underway in Karnataka. It's a cabinet which is younger, it is a cabinet which is diverse, it is a cabinet which is new, but it is a cabinet which only has men. All right, let's switch our focus all the way from Karnataka to what's happening in Bihar, because that's quite a story there. Prashant Kishore was a poll strategist for years, right? But when he entered politics himself, the verdict was brutal. 0 seats, hundreds of lost deposits, questions over whether he could even convert strategy into votes. But today, Jan Swaraj chief has changed his story. Prashant Kishore has scored his first electoral victory, winning the high-stakes Bankipur by-poll in the heart of Patna. And this just wasn't any by-poll, and we know, we say that about every by-poll, but this one is indeed different. It was a BJP bastion for 2 decades, an urban prestige battle of sorts, and a 3-cornered contest with the BJP and the RJD as well. Now, is this the moment Jan Swaraj can say it has finally arrived? Or is Banki more just a flash in the pan, really? Either way, Prashant Kishore is 0 no more. So take a look at the story to really understand what this means for him, for his party, and for Bihar politics.
From 0 seats in 2025 assembly polls,
जनता ने हम लोगों पर वो विश्वास नहीं दिखाया, तो उसकी जिम्मेवारी जो है वो पूर्णतः मेरी है.
to one crucial win. Prashant Kishore has finally broken the jinx.
ये विधायक बनाने का चुनाव नहीं है. ये भाजपा के केंद्रीय नेतृत्व को ये संदेश देने का एक प्रयास है बिहार की जनता के द्वारा कि बिहार में किसी अच्छे व्यक्ति को मुख्यमंत्री बनाइए. आपको जनता ने 202 विधायक जिताए हैं. किसी अपराधी, किसी गलत चाल चरित्र चेहरा वाले व्यक्ति को बिहार का नेतृत्व मत दीजिए. अच्छे आदमी को बनाइए ताकि बिहार में भी शिक्षा हो, बिहार में भी बच्चों के लिए रोजगार हो.
The poll strategist turned politician and Jan Swaraj chief has won the Bankipur by-poll, his first electoral test and his first electoral victory. And he did it in a 3-way battle against BJP and RJD. But Bankipur was never just another by-poll. It is a key urban seat in Patna, a BJP stronghold for 2 decades until BJP National President Nitin Nabin vacated it in April after being elected to the Rajya Sabha.
भाजपा हार चुकी है. लड़ाई मार्जिन की है कि कितने बड़े मार्जिन से हारते हैं.
The by-poll was also a litmus test of Jan Swaraj's ability to turn its political pitch into votes, because Jan Swaraj's last electoral report card was brutal. 238 seats contested, 236 deposits lost, 0 seats won and polling a meager 3% of votes. But Bankipur has rewritten that script. The timing may have worked in PK's favour too. This was the first poll after the Gen Z stir in Bihar, with youth anger over jobs, education, paper leaks and government accountability dominating the political conversation. And PK's pitch was built around exactly that. change, jobs and education. The BJP was defending its urban fortress. The RJD was chasing a breakthrough in Patna. And Jan Swaraj was offering voters a third option beyond the two established players. The result, a stunning turnaround for PK. Prashant Kishore is no longer just the man who predicts elections. He is now an elected leader. PK is zero no more.
इतने वोट से भाजपा हारेगी कि जीवन में कभी ये कहने का दुस्साहस नहीं कर पाएंगे कि हम लोग कुत्ता बिल्ली को भी खड़ा करेंगे तो चुनाव जीत जाएगा.
With Rohit Singh and Shashi Bhushan in Patna, Bureau Report, India Today.
And then the big news coming in. Jan Swaraj's Prashant Kishore is all set to win the Bankipur seat. Prashant Kishore leading with almost 19,000 votes now. India Today has now spoken with him exclusively to understand what this means. He went on to say in that interview, which I'll play out for you in just a moment from now, he says Bihar doesn't accept Samrat Chaudhary as their leader. That's a big statement that he's making. Also goes on to say that BJP gave responsibility of Bihar to a criminal. Remember, this is the first election that BJP fought in Bihar without its senior leadership over there, and also one without Nitish Kumar. So what exactly will this mean? Like I said, is this just a flash in the pan, or are we to read more into the mood of Bihar and of Biharis with this bypoll? Here's the interview.
किस तरीके की जीत रही आपकी?
अभी तो जीत होनी बाकी है, रिजल्ट अभी आया नहीं है जी। अभी 2-3 राउंड के काउंटिंग बाकी है जी। काउंटिंग होने जाने दीजिए।
बड़ी मेहनत आपने की थी, आपको उम्मीद थी कि इस तरीके के नतीजे आएंगे प्रशांत जी? एक हो गया प्रशांत जी।
मेहनत और जीत का सीधा सरोकार नहीं है। जीत हो जाने दीजिए।
रेफरेंडम है ये सम्राट चौधरी पे?
बिल्कुल, वो तो है।
आप बार-बार कह रहे थे जनमत संग्रह है ये।
बिल्कुल, सम्राट चौधरी के नेतृत्व को बिहार की जनता स्वीकार नहीं करती है, ये तो बिल्कुल स्पष्ट है।
और नितिन नवीन के सीट पे इतनी बड़ी जीत, किला ध्वस्त किया है बीजेपी का आपने?
किला किसी का नहीं होता है।
आराम से चलिए।
30 साल का किला 30 दिन भी नहीं लगा। और उसकी एक बड़ी वजह यह है कि भाजपा ने चुनाव जीतने के बाद यहाँ पर एक अपराधी प्रवृत्ति के आदमी को, एक गलत चाल चरित्र के चेहरा वाले व्यक्ति को बिहार का नेतृत्व दिया है, जो बिहार के लोगों को स्वीकार्य नहीं है।
All right, that victory almost certain and likely to happen anytime now. So we'll cut across more to details as they come in. But let me take you through some other stories that came in through the day. And this one from the Delhi court. The Delhi court has now acquitted a former Wrestling Federation of India president and ex-BJP MP Brij Bhushan Charan Singh in a high-profile sexual harassment case filed by women wrestlers. The court also cleared the former WFI, Assistant Secretary Vinod Tomar as well, with both accused cleared of all charges. Brij Bhushan and his supporters have hailed the verdict as a complete vindication. However, the judgment has reignited a political storm. Was it lack of evidence? Was it rolling back of the words from the girls? What exactly led to this verdict? Here's a report.
Indian Olympians on the streets of the national capital. A sit-in dharna for days. Then forcefully removed by the police from the protest site.
There is a scuffle going on between Delhi police and Vinesh.
They threatened to throw their medals in the Ganga.
ये लड़कियों का, महिलाओं का मामला है। हम भारत की बेटियां हैं, क्या हम इतना तो हम चाह ही सकते हैं कि जिसने हमारी बहनों के साथ में गलत किया, जिसने हमारे रेसलिंग के साथ में गलत किया, उनको इतनी सजा तो मिलनी चाहिए अभी तो।
Just one demand: action against Brij Bhushan Charan Singh for sexually harassing female wrestlers. The case made international headlines, but after 3 years of trial, Delhi's Rouse Avenue Court has acquitted former BJP MP and former Wrestling Federation of India President Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. The court, along with Brij Bhushan, also acquitted former WFI Assistant Secretary Vinod Tomar in the sexual harassment case. Brij Bhushan and supporters have hailed the verdict as a vindication.
उनके हिसाब से तो उसी दिन मुझे पकड़ करके फांसी दे देना चाहिए था। तो अब उनको अपने गिरेबान में देखना चाहिए कि उनका प्रोटेस्ट कहां तक सही था।
When the charges were leveled against Brij Bhushan 3 years ago, he had famously declared, even if a single allegation against him proved, he was ready to be hanged.
मैंने पहले दिन कहा था, कब हुआ, कहां हुआ, किसके साथ हुआ, और साथ ही साथ ये भी कहा था कि अगर एक भी प्रकरण मेरे ऊपर साबित हो जाएगा तो मैं फांसी पर लटक जाऊंगा।
After the verdict, Vinesh Fogart has said that the wrestlers have not lost hope and the wrestlers will continue their fight. The acquittal has now reignited a massive political storm. BJP MP and Brij Bhushan's son Karan Bhushan claimed that opposition drama now stands exposed in front of everyone.
और मंडल की जीत, ये सच्चाई की जीत है। जो एक टाइम हम लोग को मजबूर करा जा रहा था मेरे पिताजी को कि फांसी दे देनी चाहिए, जंतर मंतर पे कि जला देना चाहिए, सारी पार्टियां साथ आके बोल रही थी। आज क्या आके बोलेंगी? आज क्या आके बोलेंगी कि आपके पर जो हुआ गलत हुआ?
Opposition has branded BJP anti-women.
एक तरफ कहते हैं कि यंग जनरेशन के साथ है, एक तरफ महिला सशक्तिकरण की बात है, महिला रिजर्वेशंस की बात है, और दूसरी तरफ ये
सारा देश का है कि ये क्या है और इनकी सोच विचार।
देश के स्पोर्ट्स स्टार्स हैं इस तरीके से
उनकी तो बेइज्जती कर ही दिए, उन महिलाओं से माफी मांगे, कान पकड़े।
The wrestlers now have the option to move High Court. But this verdict has sparked a fresh bout in Indian wrestling. Bureau Report, India Today.
And staying on the story, let's also get understanding in detail about what really transpired in the court. I'm tossing over to my colleague Pooja, who's got an exclusive chat lined up for you.
Call it relief or vindication, but for Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, former BJP MP, who's been the chief of the Wrestling Federation of India, this has been a long journey of serious allegations and now acquittal. Joining me, the advocate who represented the Wrestling Federation of India chief, Rajiv Mohan, is now joining me. So what exactly did the court say that led to the acquittal of the former Wrestling Federation chief?
Now, court was of the view that the prosecution failed to prove its case beyond all reasonable doubt. And I think the inconsistencies, contradictions, unexplained delay, and post-incident conduct, these were viewed by a court to arrive at the conclusion that it's a case of honorable acquittal.
Inconsistencies is what you're saying in the statement, sir. Then I remember the serious allegations that had come in. This was a sexual, physical, mental harassment case against Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, now acquitted by the Delhi court. But how do you see the impact of this judgment? Because I remember the allegations had led to street protests, political face-off, and that was said to have possibly could have led to a certain influence over the case.
There was no doubt there was some pressure from the outside, but the victims appeared in the court, deposed, but because of some inherent contradictions which they left during the trial. Because the sequence of events as in this case was that, first of all, they sat on the protest. till sitting on the protest, there was no allegation. After the protest, they filed the affidavit before oversight committee. Now, when the FIR was lodged, they were examined, and during the trial when charges were framed and they were produced before the court, the statement given during the investigation and before the court during the trial, those statements were on major issues were contradicting their earlier affidavit which they filed before oversight committee.
Okay.
Now, place of occurrence was changed. In affidavit, the place of occurrence was somewhere in other country, and when they deposed before the court, the place was in some other country.
Okay.
So during the cross-examination, this fact was brought to the notice of the court that the name of the country which was taken in the affidavit was the country where Mr. Brij Bhushan was not traveling at that relevant time.
Okay.
So it was tried to be built up by the side of the defense that perhaps when victims came to know about this fact, they changed their version. And in all the criminal trials, when victim is not consistent with his version or coming with the contradictory version or which is not inconsistent, always the benefit goes to the accused.
So, but this is interesting what you're saying here, Mr. Rajiv Mohan. Then I have one more question. The wrestlers have also spoken up and they have said their fight will continue. They believe the whole system has conspired against them and made a powerful man win. They are set to appeal to the higher court. Can that turn the tables for Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, Mr. Mohan?
Because whatever case which have been built during the trial, in the appeal, that case will be argued.
Yes.
So, for the purpose of appeal, the evidence given by them during the trial will be of much more importance. So, if the contradictions are existing at this stage, how those contradictions will be covered during the argument while arguing the appeal, it's a separate issue. But certainly the platform is being built up during the trial. So the contradictions, inconsistencies, delayed, unexplained delay, post-incident conduct, all these things have already been come on record. So it will remain the matter of argument and the matter of appreciation as to how the superior courts are going to interpret this aspect. But learned trial court interpreted the manner that the version given by all the victims goes to the roots of the case, and because of these factors, the court was of the view that the benefit of doubt must be given to the accused.
All right, so it looks like the wrestlers will have to work on their strategy again. Nevertheless, it's been a long journey for Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh as well in this case. Acquittal for him for now from the Delhi court. Appreciate you joining us, Mr. Rajiv Mohan, for speaking to India today. Thank you very much.
All right, monsoon mayhem has swept the country from Kashmir to Kerala and from Assam to Gujarat. Relentless rain is unleashing a trail of destruction across states. Homes are submerged, roads have disappeared under floodwaters, and the standing crops have been destroyed, leaving thousands battling also under rising water. Rivers are in spate, rescue teams are on high alert, and fresh spells of heavy rain continue to threaten several states. For many, it's familiar and a painful story. Another monsoon, another season of flood fury. Assam, let's speak about that first, is reeling from its worst floods in decades. Heavy rain continues to lash Kerala as well and causing rivers to rise all across the state as well. Chief Minister Satishan has conveyed, and in fact he's gone ahead to take care of a review meeting as the death toll in Kerala alone has gone to 15. Here's a report taking you through the length and breadth of the country.
Kerala is reeling under heavy rains. Multiple deaths, many missing, thousands homeless. And the forecast is bleak. Water levels in all major rivers across the region has risen sharply, triggering fresh flood fears in Kottayam, Patnamthitta and Alappuzha district. The Meenachil has surged nearly 3 feet overnight, while the Pampa and Manimala continue to swell under relentless rain. At Aranmula, the Pampa has breached its bank yet again, forcing authorities into another round of evacuations. Officials are now sounding the alarm on flash floods across the entire Pampa basin, as the river shows no sign of receding.
This is very close to the famous temple in Aranmula also, where this main road leading to the temple is completely filled with water. Yesterday also the region was facing waterlogging. Today also the scenes are no different. And you can see the NDRF now using speedboats to rescue some people who are stuck. They were learning that some older people, elderly, are stuck in the houses there. So they're going there. A high-level meeting was called today by Chief Minister to access the situation, because yesterday there was a relief from rainfall. Even today there's no rainfall, but at night it starts raining heavily, and in the morning the regions are left inundated.
In Kottayam, the swollen Meenachil river has created waterlogged danger zones. Homes in Kottayam suburbs have all been inundated. The worst of it is in Patnamthitta. The upper Kuttanad region is locked in a severe flood crisis, and condition remains alarming.
We are here in Valamkulam. This is a region connecting Tiruvalla and Aranmula in Patnamthitta. Both of these places are one of the worst affected regions. In fact, even though it stopped raining in Aranmula, the waterlogging continues, and it is being said that the place will take some more days to recover from the waterlogging. People living close by says that it did not face waterlogging yesterday, but in the overnight rainfall that lashed this region, in the morning the place is filled with water.
Chief Minister V.D. Satheesan has convened an emergency meeting to assess the ground situation.
എല്ലാ ജില്ലകളിലും സ്ഥിതിഗതികൾ നിയന്ത്രണാധീനമാണ് എന്നാണ് റിപ്പോർട്ട് കിട്ടിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. പത്തനംതിട്ട ജില്ലയിൽ മാത്രം കുറച്ച് സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ വെള്ളം ഇറങ്ങിപ്പോകാനുണ്ട്, ചില പ്രദേശങ്ങളിൽ. ബാക്കിയുള്ള സ്ഥലങ്ങളിലെല്ലാം കാര്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം നിയന്ത്രണ വിധേയമായാണ് നിൽക്കുന്നത്.
As a precautionary measure, a holiday was declared for educational institutions in 12 districts of Kerala. The India Meteorological Department has forecast heavy rainfall in the coming days as well, accompanied by strong winds with speeds of 40 to 50 km per hour. With Shivakumar KG, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, let's get a live update there. My colleague Shivakumar joins us from Patnamthitta over there. Shibi, we saw the report. Oh my God, look at the water that you're under at the moment. Take us through where exactly you are. It's again started to rain there. What exactly is the condition?
Sonal, we are in Patnamthitta itself, very close to Aranmula, and since morning it was not raining that much. The rains at east, but that's not the case right now. 10 minutes ago it started raining, and started raining heavily. This is the main road that connects Patnamthitta to Kottayam district, and you can see the entire region, the entire road filled with water. On both the sides, you have shops and houses. They're all facing severe waterlogging. We're learning that all of them have shifted to camps at this point because it's very risky to stay here, especially in the last 2 days. If we see, it's not the daytime rainfall, but the overnight rainfall that's caused this kind of, waterlogging, and it has also caused some mudslides in some hilly regions also. So very risky to stay inside, close to these regions. The Chief Minister says that the condition in the other part of the states, in the last few days there was heavy rainfall reported in North Kerala also, but that has been eased. The situation across the state is very much under control, but in Patnamthitta there is still waterlogging, and it is going to take few more days to get freed from that. But if it continues raining, it is going to be very, very difficult because this is heavy rainfall right now taking place in Pathanamthitta. So if it continues like this, because a lot of people we spoke to, a lot of places we visited, the residents were telling that this is a more scary situation than the 2018 floods. The only positive thing is that it's just affecting one part of the state, unlike 2018 where, across the state we reported heavy floodings. That's not the case this time. That's the only positive. But otherwise, in a long time, we have not seen this level of water and this level of waterlogging in these districts. The most affected are Pathanamthitta, Kottayam, Idukki, the hilly and the central part of the state. The northern part also received heavy rainfall, but thankfully the situation right now there is under control. The focus will now remain on these districts and the rescue and relief activities. As of now, more than 11,000 people are staying in various camps across the state, is the information that the government is telling us.
All right, Chippy, thanks so much for joining us. Stay safe over there, and not a good time for Kerala. Just, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the death toll rising when an entire highway had collapsed, and now the death toll already at 15. We'll keep tracking the updates there with you. Thanks so much for joining us. But the story is similar, not just in Kerala, in Assam as well. All right, we unfortunately don't have time to sort of bring you those reports today. Apologies for that, but we'll continue to track all those updates. Stay tuned to India Today. Lots more coming up.
New entrepreneurs came up. There was Dhirubhai Ambani. He was a rag to riches story. He built industries. He built, the whole nylon business, the textile, and then, of course, into petrochemical.
There were others like him, but he was by far the biggest and the most prominent of them all. He was also the most controversial because of his business methods. We did the stories on him as a success. We did a story of him under pressure. It was a churn that was taking place, and it led to lots of stories.
News Track, where the voices that truly matter speak.
Why is the Congress party insisting on the resignation of Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan?
Irresponsibility, the government's failure to secure exams and deliver justice to students.
The real newsmakers and global thought leaders driving change across India and the world.
The former IMF executive director, Surjit Bhalla, says that this is factually incorrect. Resign and go. Who are you telling this?
Exclusive conversations, unfiltered insights, straight from the biggest names and power corridors. Every night, we deliver what matters most. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Legends join the trend. Some trends come and go, while others become so big that even Bollywood can't resist joining in. The latest viral Gen Z protest reel has now found some unexpected new stars. Veteran actors Anupam Kher, Baman Irani, Ranveer Shori and Praveen Dabas have recreated the internet sensation on the sets of their upcoming movie Khosla Ka Ghosla 2, adding their own comic twist to the trend. Shared by Anupam Kher on social media, the video has struck a chord online, amassing over 100 million views on Instagram within hours of its release, while also drawing reactions from celebrities including Shilpa Shetty, Selina Jaitley and Rakhi Sawant. Interestingly, the trend recently gained nationwide attention just weeks ago, after a creator filmed the quirky reel during the Gen Z-led protest at Jantar Mantar in Delhi, with the unusual backdrop helping it go massively viral. The original video has since crossed 175 million views on Instagram. One viral reel, millions of views, and now a cast of Bollywood legends. This is one trend that refuses to fade from the spotlight. Meanwhile, director and co-writer Greta Gerwig is said to have pocketed substantial back-end bonuses following.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Co-powered by Suzlon, good energies that work. LIC हर पल आपके साथ.
Hello and welcome. Good evening. You're watching Super 6 here on India Today. I'm Akshata Nandagopal. As always, over the next 1 hour, we'll get you all of the top stories that we're tracking this Monday evening. But what do we have in store for you in this edition of Super 6? Well, we'll first focus on the DK Shivakumar cabinet expansion. It's been delayed and delayed non-stop. The cabinet expansion finally happened today, but we're calling this the cabinet of confusion. Why? I'll explain to you in just a bit, because the last 24 hours has been a dramatic one for DK Shivakumar. Also coming up on the show, we'll focus on what's happening in Tamil Nadu. You have the leader of opposition, DMK leader Udayanidhi Stalin, holding this massive event targeting the Vijay government over the Kaveri crisis and their handling. But then it got rather ugly, personal and downright obscene, where Udayanidhi Stalin, mind you, the leader of opposition, fired at actor Trisha. And it was absolutely downright disappointing, the kind of words, the kind of language that was used against a woman. We'll talk about that and how parties have reacted to that comment made by Udayanidhi Stalin. I'm Akshita Nandagopal. Here are the headlines first. Last-minute confusion mars Karnataka Cabinet expansion. 20 names cleared, but only 19 ministers take oath. Rebellion results in at least 3 MLAs tendering their resignation. Prashant Kishore breaches 3 decades-old BJP bastion, wins Bankipur Assembly by-poll by almost 19,000 votes. Speaking to India Today, PK lashes out at Bihar Chief Minister Samrat Chaudhary.
कि भाजपा ने चुनाव जीतने के बाद यहाँ पर एक अपराधी प्रवृत्ति के आदमी को, एक गलत चाल चरित्र के चेहरा वाले व्यक्ति को बिहार का नेतृत्व दिया है, जो बिहार के लोगों को स्वीकार्य नहीं है.
High stakes assembly by-polls end in Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat as well. BJP retains Manjulpur seat in Gujarat. Congress wins Madhya Pradesh's Datia by over 6,000 votes. Delhi court acquits former Wrestling Federation of India chief Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh in sexual harassment case filed by 6 women wrestlers. RSS speaks out on students' protest led by CJP, calls Jantar Mantar protesters anti-national, claims foreign elements infiltrated protests. CJP hits back, says RSS has no moral right to call anyone anti-national.
जो गांधी के हत्यारे हैं, उनको कोई मॉरल राइट नहीं है किसी और को एंटी नेशनल कहने का. इस देश में सबसे पहला कोई एंटी नेशनल था तो नथुराम गोडसे.
Our top focus this evening is on the much-awaited Karnataka Cabinet expansion. I'm calling it the Cabinet of Confusion, though. Why? Because in the last 24 hours, there's been an absolute political circus, nothing short of that, that's played out. What do I mean? This morning, there was a list that came out of the names who are going to be inducted to the cabinet, and then slowly changes started being made. For example, the name of a Congress leader, Vaidya, was in the list, and then it was removed. The AICC claimed it was a typing error in the list. So you'd think it was a similar name maybe that was brought in and introduced by mistake. Not at all. SS Mallikarjun was brought in. Vaidya removed, Mallikarjun brought in, and all of this pointed towards a typing error. That's what was told. The second, senior leaders of the Congress, MLAs, are now starting to resign, openly speaking out about the exclusion, about the content, the disappointment they're feeling, because they say that they got an assurance from senior leaders in the Karnataka Congress. So is there a disconnect between what AICC has put out and what KPCC thought would be the list? And as a result of that, endless confusion again within the KPCC, within the Karnataka Congress. 3 MLAs have expressed their disappointment, have openly said that they are unhappy. And so much so that there's even been a self-immolation bid over the fact that the names that were expected weren't there. What did we hear all along about this cabinet expansion? You'll see a lot of young faces. You'll see women representation, because that's not been there so far. Guess what? 20 names were supposed to take oath as ministers. Only 19 took oath because the last name on that list, the only woman in the cabinet who was supposed to be in the Karnataka cabinet, dropped from the list because of confusion. What do I mean? Gayatri was brought in. She's not even an MLC yet. She won by a court order, so swearing in is yet to take place. And yet you have several other leaders, Motama, Lakshmi Hebalkar, to just name a few, who were also minister hopefuls. None of them were inducted. Instead, Gayatri was brought in, leading to again rebellion. And so the High Command had to go back on the decision. She wasn't sworn in. So again, confusion there. Ultimately, there's no woman representation in the cabinet. The oath timing, and this speaks volumes. It's not just a question of a delay, but the invites at 4:05 p.m. and then the entire event got pushed by 1 hour. Why? Because of all of the confusion, the back and forth, the AICC list coming out, names being removed, some being told you'll be sworn in, some being told not really. This is truly the cabinet of confusion, and you'd think that everything would be sorted, considering it's taken so long for DK Shivakumar to get his team together, considering it's taken so long for the Congress High Command to pick these names. A 2-month wait has culminated in all of this chaos and confusion. There's nothing short of a political storm right now in Karnataka. DK Shivakumar himself conceded that there's been chaos. He's conceded that yes, not everyone's happy. His advice? Be patient. I was patient, it paid off. To everyone, he says, be patient. Not really the case, because most leaders have now hit the streets. There are protests taking place, and this is now effectively Congress versus Congress.
ರಾಜ್ಭವನ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ನ ಕಳ್ಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಜನ ಶಾಸಕರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಹಳ ಜನ ಹರ್ರಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಪಕ್ಷ ಕೆಲವು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಈಗ ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಕೂಡ 2004ರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಂತ್ರಿಗಿರಿ ನನ್ನೇ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನವ್ರ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಲ್ಲೂ ನನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ತಾಳ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಇದ್ದದಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಕೂತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ತಾಳ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಒಂದಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ನಾವು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ತಾಳ್ಮೆಯಿಂದ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇರಬೇಕು.
क्या हुआ है, इलेक्शन के पहले ये लोगों ने हाई कमांड और स्टेट लेवल और नेशनल लेवल लीडर्स ने हमको बात किए थे और जवान दिए थे. वो आज उसके ऊपर नहीं अड़े कर मैं ये डिसीजन लिया हूँ. बिफोर 23rd इलेक्शन दे हैव गिवन वर्ड फॉर मी. This time we'll accommodate all of you, all three and third. So now they have not done it. So that's why there is no another way for me. Today I have taken this drastic decision. बहुत दिन से चल रहा है हमारे साथ. और वो एक आदमी ऐसा है, किसी को भी ये नहीं करता. वो
कौन सर आदमी?
वो मैं बोलता हूँ 2 दिन छोड़ के बोलता हूँ. आपको मालूम हुआ ना, हमारे प्रोटेस्ट वाले ने बोले ना, जो भी
प्रोटेस्ट वाले बोल रहे थे MB पाटिल का नाम निकाल रहे थे.
वही है.
ನೋಡೋಣ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಡೆದಿತ್ತು, ಇನ್ನೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಕಾದು ಇನ್ನೂ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ, ಕಾದು ನೋಡೋಣ. ಪಕ್ಷದ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಚರ್ಚೆ ನಡೀತಾ ಅದು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸಮುದಾಯಕ್ಕಂತ. ಅದು ಬಹುಶಃ ಅಂತಿಮ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ಎನಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದೇನು ಈಗ ಕಾಲೇನು ಮಿಂಚೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಎನಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಕಾದು ನೋಡೋಣ.
So as we break down for you right now and steering away from what we were talking about, the chaos and confusion, let me just tell you what the DK Shivakumar team looks like, and the caste combination that matters, of course, a great deal in Karnataka. You've got 7 Lingayats now in the DK Shivakumar cabinet. That's an important number, because remember that the Lingayats have largely been a BJP vote bank. The Congress is looking to kind of ensure that Lingayats switch over. 5 Vokkaligas who are also there, 7 members of the scheduled caste community, 3 scheduled tribes, 6 OBCs. It was going to be a lot more if you had that women representation in Gayatri also being brought into the cabinet. 4 Muslims who've been inducted in the cabinet, 1 Reddy community, Ramalinga Reddy. This is the breakdown right now of the DK Shivakumar cabinet. Like I said, a lot of thought has gone into that composition to ensure that every group feels represented. And a large part of it was also to ensure that the Ahindas don't feel left out after Siddaramaiah was in fact made to step down as the chief minister. Let me bring in Sagai Raj, who's joining us live with more details on this. Sagai, after a delay, finally the cabinet expansion has happened. Have things settled down? The last 24 hours has been extremely stormy, rocky for DK Shivakumar. Now have all, the voices that were rebelling against the High Command kind of quietened down with the swearing in done, or is this going to continue?
It will continue. It is on expected lines, because you have a battalion of Congress MLAs, and Congress got a brutal majority in 2023, and most of them were anticipating that they will get the cabinet berth, and there are already 2 MLAs who have said that they will tender resignation. 1 MLA has already given a resignation, and supporters of 4 to 5 MLAs, including father-son duo in Vijayanagar and Govindaraj Nagar in Bengaluru, the supporters have protested outside his house house. They shouted slogans against the Congress party and High Command, stating that he should have given at least one of those fathers and duo. And there is also protest in Mysuru. The supporters of Tanveer Seth have shouted slogans against the High Command as well as the local leadership in the state. And they also alleged that there was injustice done to Tanveer Seth. He's a senior Congress leader, senior MLA, and one of his supporters even went to an extent of consuming insecticide, and he was later on hospitalized and he's under medication as of now. And the supporters
Sagai, tell me this. Sagai, tell me
Raghavendra
this.
Hitnal from Koppal
When you
district
saw the
have
list,
also protested.
were there some names or some exclusions that surprised you? Some senior leaders who you thought would definitely be in that list?
Absolutely. We thought that Dinesh Kundu Rao will be part of this. We thought that Tanveer Seth might be part of it because he's a senior Congress leader from a minority community. And we also thought Raghavendra Hitnal, one of the senior Congress MLA from Koppal district from Kurba community, might get an opportunity this time. And there were a lot of ifs and so's. And we also thought that Sharad Bachegowda, the young MLA, the second time MLA from Bengaluru Rural, will get an opportunity. And we also thought that yes, Ponnana was a loyalist of Siddaramaiah, will also get a cabinet. But yes, he is made as a deputy speaker of Karnataka Assembly. So there are a lot of surprises which has happened. And I believe that the Congress have gone into a lot of calculations, Akshita, especially after Tamil Nadu elections and Gen Z protest. So what we also got to learn through Congress is that they were looking for fresh faces. But as of now, apart from Rizwan, Arshad or few others, nobody seems to be fresh faces in the Karnataka Congress.
And yet you've got some senior leaders who are upset. But ultimately, what stands out for me is that there's no woman at all in the DK Shivakumar cabinet. I hope that changes, but for now, no woman representation. Thanks, Sagai, for joining us with those details. Let me open this up. Joining us on this broadcast, Anand Gurumurthy, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, and Shatabir Shivanna, spokesperson of the Karnataka Congress. Shivanna, to you first, on what's played out in the last 24 hours. You will concede that there's been quite a bit of drama, quite a bit of chaos. Could this have been averted, Shivanna? Could this have been done in a much smoother way?
See, there is a simple arithmetic. The Congress has 136 MLAs out of a 224 assembly. There are several experienced legislators. There are about 38 first-time MLAs, several of whom are capable, competent, and deserving. But the Constitution only permits 34 positions in the Council of Ministers. 136 aspirations cannot be fitted into 34 chairs, however creative the seating arrangement may be. So therefore, the Congress has a problem of plenty, and we have seen that in the past. We have senior legislators who have served the state as well as the party for decades, alongside with a new generation that deserves responsibility. Now, the leadership must balance experience with fresh thinking, region with community, and political representation with administrative capability. So yes, there will be disappointment, but disappointment is not disintegration. Aspiration is not rebellion, and few emotional reactions in the morning of the cabinet expansions do not constitute a constitutional crisis or a collapse of the government.
I will ask this though. I will ask this. You're saying that, it's not as chaotic as it looks. This is expected. It's a problem of plenty, which is a good problem to have. But having said that, what led to Vaidya being removed and a typing error being mentioned by AICC? What led to Gayatri Shantagowda's name being there and her not taking oath? That's confusion, Shivanna.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there isn't disappointment. I'm acknowledging that. Now, see, for nearly 3 years, we were repeatedly told that the transition between Sri Siddaramaiah and Sri DK Shivakumar would tear the Congress apart. Political obituaries were written, panel discussions were conducted, and countdown clocks were virtually prepared. Yet, when the time came, Karnataka witnessed an exceptionally smooth and significant transition. The prediction failed and the Congress party prevailed. The same with Sri Ramlinga Reddy. Political obituaries were written, but he still continues with the government, right? And today, Karnataka has a full-fledged cabinet. The time for speculation is over, and the time for solid governance begins. Over this 2-year remaining period, we are committed to fulfilling our promises. We are committing to deliver solid governance, and we want to go before the people in 2028, 2029 with a record of performance and not political rhetoric.
Anand Gurumurthy, your opening comments. Is this run of the mill in politics? Much ado about nothing then?
See, whatever happens within their party, it's their internal party issue. But what we are asking as principal opposition is all your roadshow and all your shows of, drinking poison and other things are disturbing the common people and their life. Kindly keep it within your Congress party office, okay, and do it inside and come out with proper results for the people. People are suffering. There's a lot of drought-related issues. And potholes are again coming to show even after spending 2,000 crores. So these are all, on one side, and they don't care about this. The Congress leaders go ahead, sit in Delhi, and then is the constitutional part that, they're disregarding Congress people, which I want to point out today in the national channel. See, first of all, they come up with a list, and that list is printed on Congress, this thing, and then, is sent out to everybody as if, Mr. Venugopal is in charge of issuing that list. No, the CM's prerogative is to come up with the cabinet ministers. Okay, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar accepts that. But let us ask.
How is that any different from any other party, Mr. Anand Gurmurthy? That's the same process in the BJP.
Wait a second.
There's no difference there. The High Command does everything, picks everyone.
Cabinet ministers list. It is the CM's prerogative that goes to the governor's office. Okay, one thing is that. Second thing is cabinet minister. The council chairman and the vice chairman. See, these two are appointed by the House. Okay, how can you? Okay, you have numbers. That's a different point. But how can you, print it on Congress letterhead and publish it? He's a state in charge. He's not even an MP or an MLA here. Even if he was, it is wrong. Okay, how can you show this audacity? Congress should, take care of these sensitivities. Okay, they cannot just go ahead. They're a very old party, and they have to take care of these sensitive things and have some sensibility. They cannot show this audacity towards the governor. So that's what I want to point out. Of course, they don't care about people. They have all the numbers and they keep telling it, and the CM doesn't care about people. That's a different story. But this is again, a breach of constitutional rights that they have got, and the people are watching it.
No, so Mr. Shivanna, I'll bring you in on this. Essentially, there are also questions being asked on how much power really the KPCC has in these decisions. For 2 weeks, you had D.K. Shivakumar camping in Delhi, waiting for a meeting with the High Command. So after an endless delay, now we see this kind of confusion, this chaos where one leader is brought in, replaced, another leader is brought in, told don't take oath today because, there will be disgruntlement. After all of this delay, this is what we see playing out in Karnataka.
No, see, the Congress is a national party. The Chief Minister, former Chief Minister, the state leadership, our PCC president, and the central leadership will have to consult one another while making such large decision. Consultation is not remote control, if that's what you're suggesting. We have a concept of internal democracy, and we will follow that. And insofar as the BJP's counterattack, we will accept any constructive criticism, but we do not require a tutorial in cabinet stability from the Karnataka BJP. Between 2008 and 2013, one BJP government gave Karnataka 3 chief ministers in B.S. Yediyurappa, D.V. Sidanandegowda, and Jagdish Chatterjee. In 2019, Shri B.S. Yediyurappa waited for weeks on weeks. He was the lone wolf in his cabinet. He was the single chief minister. Yeah. Now the BJP also, built governments through defections and the now infamous Operation Kamala. So the record does not qualify them to behave like visiting professors in political stability or lessons in political stability.
Unfortunately, the people of Karnataka, I think, are used to these delays. Mr. Anand Gurmurthy.
See, basically, I told it very frankly. We are not going to go into the internal matters. Keep it inside your office, okay? But still, okay, Congress has to still, they have some issues, okay? They've done the mistake, so they have to talk about it. Okay, you are talking about BJP's problems, right? What are you doing? Why don't you get better than us? Can you show that in your cabinet expansion? Can you show that in your road shows? The way you're conducting road shows, causing law and order and traffic problems to the people. Can you behave properly before, telling that we are giving you tutorials? See, you came and asked me for a tutorial now. Okay, Mr. Shivanna, please understand. BJP is not talking about your BJP is not talking about your
internal matters. No, I think, Mr. Gurmurthy, essentially what the Congress's contention is that if you speak of a delay in our cabinet expansion, expansion. Under Mr. Yediyurappa, there was over 30-day wait, if I'm not wrong, for a cabinet.
Who spoke? See, there were many TV discussions about cabinet delays and other things because the people of Karnataka were suffering at this point of time. If you say in past something has happened and that was wrong, okay, that was wrong. But what about today? Talk about today, Mr. Shivanna. Can you take this state forward for the next 2 years, or you have just lost hope and you are, just pointing out at the problems of BJP and surviving? Tell me that. Is that your survival spirit?
Mr. Shivanna, your
you cannot
response.
give governance. Administration is not something which is here.
Okay, let him respond.
I
Mr.
think that was
Gurumurthy,
for
let him
me, sir.
respond.
Yeah, so the cabinet has today expanded. The government is stable despite BJP's multiple attempts to destabilize a democratically elected government. And Karnataka, sir, now expects performance and not political theater like what you're doing on this show. Individual disappointment will be handled with dignity and it will not distract us from our collective responsibility. Our priority is clear. It is to resolve Karnataka's pressing problems. It's to accelerate development, fulfill our commitments, and deliver solid governance in the next 2 years. We will face people in 2028, 2029, not with excuses, but with a record of performance. The arithmetic has now settled, the chairs have now been filled, and the Congress party is united. Now it's time to stop counting ministers and start measuring the results, is my respectful submission. If you can assist us as a constructive opposition, please do. If not, then the people will answer.
Mr. Gurumurthy, your response.
See, basically, we have been telling this from day one. Okay, fix the problems of people, especially, drinking water problem when, was announced by UN and other, international organization, and our own IMD had announced. We had kept telling that, but no response from them. And now, they are also praying for rain god, and people are also praying for rain god. Number two, regarding the Bangalore traffic issues and other problems, we have been telling that, okay, they're just doing road shows, okay? All those road shows done by the Bangalore in charge minister, everybody is back on the street, the street vendors are back, the footpaths are not here. So they don't do anything, they're only doing shows. And then they accuse us of, creating shows on...
I'm glad you raised an issue that connects with every Bangalorean, sir, but I'm sorry, every political party is guilty of that, not one political party.
See,
every
the
political
past,
party.
Don't pull out the past. Tell me what is happening in the next 2 years. Okay, you cannot pull out the past in every media program and say that okay, it was like that. Those were the mistakes.
So your party also pulls up the past, Mr. Shivakumar.
See, I am not pulling out any past here. I am just asking what is the reasonable this thing that is there.
The BJP is so experienced in pulling up the past. They refer to Nehru.
2 weeks ago, everything was clear.
Okay, one at a time, please, Mr. Shivakumar.
Mr. Shivakumar, 1 second. 2 weeks was cleared. Now the street vendors are back.
Okay.
Livelihoods were lost. And again, things are back to, nobody can walk on footpaths. What is your answer on that? Simple things I'm asking, okay, which is happening in the last 2 weeks. Why are you going 2 years, 10 years? Then I can go to Indira Gandhi's time and Nehru's time and everything will, boil down to that only. Okay, I'm asking about people's problems.
Mr. Shivanna, quickly. Mr. Shivanna, quickly.
I'm glad Mr. Anand Ragumurthy brought it up because this trick of bringing up or digging up old graves from the past is what we have learned from the BJP. Any discussion on democracy, any discussion on current governance, and they would go to Nehru and Indira Gandhi and Rajiv Gandhi and whatnot. Anyways, we are not interested in doing that. I'm glad the BJP is having a reasonable and reasoned discussion. We are happy with the way the government is performing. We are happy with our Bangalore in charge minister. We are taking action against everybody in accordance with law.
One final question, Mr. Shivanna, I'm running out of time, but one final question that I have to ask you. Extremely disappointing that even in the cabinet expansion, we've seen no woman representation whatsoever in this cabinet.
Yes.
Zero women.
No, the representation of women must improve. There's no doubt about that.
Must improve, sir. It's zero.
It is.
We've seen caste combinations, religion, religious representation, all of that, but women, zero.
Yes, I totally understand that. We had Gayatri Shantegowda in place. She was a part of the list of 20 ministers who are supposed to take oath today. But for whatsoever internal reasons, that has been stalled for the moment.
What was the reason?
My information.
What was the reason? Because she's the only one who wasn't part of the swearing in.
While the swearing in is happening as we speak, I am here debating with you. So I'm not really sure about the exact reason, but it is a legitimate criticism. Representation cannot be treated as as a symbolic afterthought. We must increase the representation of women in our cabinet. And I'm certain that Shri D.K. Shivakumar ji, Shri Mallikarjun Kharge ji, Shri B.K. Hariprasad, as well as Shri Siddaramaiah will include the necessary representation, especially for women. In fact, it is a Congress party that is demanding for a 50% reservation of women in local body elections, and we're going to implement that.
So walk the talk, sir. Walk the talk.
Yes,
I hope that you walk
totally
the talk on it, and that you don't see at least just one woman being brought in for token representation, but that there's actual women's solid representation, women faces in the cabinet, which unfortunately is not happening. Thank you very much, Mr. Anand Gurumurthy and Mr. Shivana, for joining us here on India Today. Our next story comes in from Tamil Nadu. The last few months since you had Vijay take over as the chief minister, for some reason, politicians seem to believe that it's fair game to target female actors. It's fair game to talk about the chief minister's time as an actor and then drag in female actors, women actors into the conversation. The latest on that list is none other than the leader of opposition, Udayanidhi Stalin, who in the effort of taking on Chief Minister Vijay made the most crass, obscene remarks possible. Udayanidhi Stalin, and I'm not going to repeat what exactly he said because I find it far too below the belt and downright ugly, disappointing and despicable to repeat those words. But the comment he made about actor Trisha is unfortunate. That these kind of comments are being made by a leader of opposition, by a senior leader who's the face of the DMK in the assembly, is unfortunate to say the least. Party cadre in the crowd started chanting Trisha, Trisha. What should he have done as a senior leader? Stopped it right then and there. Said, let's talk substance. Let's talk about the Kaveri issue. Not go into all of these misogynistic, obscene remarks possible. And yet, unfortunately, he followed the script that almost every political leader, unfortunately, does. Not just in Tamil Nadu, but across the country, by falling into that narrative and then adding fuel to the fire. Terrible remark that's come in, and so far, there's been no apology, no clarification. There's been huge criticism that's come in for the DMK on these inappropriate comments that have been made, and dragging a woman who has absolutely nothing to do with politics in Tamil Nadu, who has absolutely nothing to do with all that's playing out, dragging her into politics for no reason with these kind of comments.
வாயை திறந்து பேசுறாரா? அவருக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரே கவலை என்ன? திமுக மேல என்ன பொய் வழக்கு போடலாம், என்ன பொய் கேஸ் போடலாம்.
And the TVK is now lashed out at Udayanidhi Stalin over what played out, over the comments made by Udayanidhi Stalin. TVK MLA Revant Charan has referred to these remarks as absolutely disgusting, saying, and I quote, passing such disgraceful comments against anyone is completely unacceptable. It exposes the mindset, political culture and declining standards of the DMK. It's not just, in fact, the TVK. The BJP also has come out to condemn what leader of opposition Udayanidhi Stalin has said. The BJP saying that the opposition leader is also a former actor himself. And the fact that he's speaking in this manner about fellow artists is terrible. The Actors Association must speak out. So widespread condemnation really for the comments that have been made by Udayanidhi Stalin. I will highlight that so far there's been no apology, no clarification that's coming from the DMK on the comment made by the leader of opposition. But even as we're seeing reactions coming in, I will remind you that Udayanidhi Stalin at this point made this comment during a protest on the Kaveri issue. And while people around him started chanting Trisha, Trisha, instead of immediately shutting that down, he fell in for that narrative, got swept away and then added to that narrative as well, making completely unacceptable remarks that I refuse to refer to as well on air, because it's downright disappointing that you have a senior leader like this making this kind of a comment and finding no need hours on to clarify, finding no need hours on to apologize for the remarks that he's made. All right, let's also get you the latest on the fight over the Kaveri waters. Tamil Nadu and Karnataka are at loggerheads over the dispute. There has been rainfall, which has led to some reprieve for the people of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. But now the Tamil Nadu government has also approached the Supreme Court. Why? Because they say that Karnataka government has withheld the rightful share of Kaveri water, that the Kaveri Waters Authority has mandated that Karnataka must release a certain amount of water. It hasn't happened yet.
The Kaveri water dispute is heating up once again. As Karnataka and Tamil Nadu battle over their share of the river, the political temperature is rising in both states. In a dramatic protest in Tiruchirappalli, farmers buried themselves in the dry Kaveri riverbed, demanding the immediate release of water for irrigation. The protesters accused Karnataka of failing to release Tamil Nadu's share of water as directed by the Kaveri Water Management Authority. The Vijay government has now approached the Supreme Court, seeking urgent intervention. Karnataka maintains that it is dealing with its own water constraints and is working to resolve the situation.
We are seeking help and cooperation with everybody. These are something beyond government's control, right? Natural calamities, natural disaster, the El Nino, Super El Nino is not in the government's control. So we have to work together to ensure that we give the best possible solution for the people.
In Tamil Nadu, leader of the opposition Udayanidhi Stalin led a protest in Tanjavur in support of farmers. He targeted Chief Minister Vijay, mocking what he called the Chief Minister's real politics.
இப்படி ஒரு ரீல்ஸ் போடுற ஒரு அரசை தமிழ்நாடு இல்ல இந்தியாவே இதுவரைக்கும் பார்த்தது கிடையாது. அமைச்சர்கள் மட்டும் இல்ல, அமைச்சருடைய சொந்தக்காரங்க அண்ணன் தம்பி எல்லாம் ஆய்வுக்கு போறான். அரசு அதிகாரிகளுக்கு தெரியல யார் அமைச்சர் யார் சட்டமன்ற உறுப்பினர் யாருக்குமே தெரியல, முதல்வருக்கும் தெரியல. அதன்படி பாத்தீங்கன்னா நமக்கு போன 2 மாசத்துல 42 டிஎம்சி தண்ணி வந்திருக்கணும், ஆனா 4 டிஎம்சி தான் கொடுக்கணும்னு உத்தரவு போட்டாங்க. அதையும் திறக்க முடியாதுன்னு கர்நாடக முதலமைச்சர் அவர்கள் உத்தரவு போட்டார். இத பத்திலாம் இந்த ஆட்சியாளர்களுக்கு எந்த கவலையும் கிடையாது. ஆட்சியாளர்களுக்கு கவலை இல்ல, ஆனா திராவிட முன்னேற்ற கழகத்தால சும்மா இருக்க முடியுமா?
The AIA-DMK has also attacked the Vijay government, questioning why an all-party meeting has not been convened on the Kaveri issue.
தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு அரசியல் கட்சி தலைவர்கள் பெரும்பாலானோர் அனைத்து கட்சி கூட்டத்தை கூட்ட வேண்டும் என்று வலியுறுத்தினார்கள். விவசாய பிரதிநிதிகளும் அனைத்து விவசாய பிரதிநிதிகளும் அழைத்து கருத்துக்களை கேட்க வேண்டும் என்று தெரிவித்தார்கள். ஆனால் இந்த அரசு அதை பற்றி எல்லாம் சிந்திக்கவும் இல்லை, கவலைப்படவும் இல்லை, அதை பொருட்டாக எடுத்துக்கொள்ளவும் இல்லை. இது மிகுந்த வேதனை அளிக்கின்றது. ஆமா, அங்க இருக்கிற அரசாங்கம் அரசியல் கட்சி தலைவர்களை மதிக்கின்றது, அங்க இருக்கின்ற விவசாயிகளை மதிக்கின்றது. இங்க இருக்கின்ற அரசாங்கம் செயல்படுவதா என்று கேள்விக்குறியாக இருக்கின்றது. ஏன்னா இந்த அரசாங்கத்துக்கு எந்த அனுபவமே கிடையாது. கட்சி ஆரம்பிக்கப்பட்டு கிட்டத்தட்ட 2.25 வருஷம் தான் ஆகுது. காவிரி நதியில் பிரச்சனை முழுமையா எதுவுமே தெரியாது.
The battle is no longer just over water. It's now a battle of prestige. As both states harden their positions, is a solution possible? With Pramod Madhav, Bureau Report, India Today.
And while you're seeing the fight continuing over water in Kerala, it's a different fight, a fight for survival amid a heavy rainfall in several parts of the state. River levels are rising across the state, leading to evacuations, people, of course, being stranded in low-lying areas. Chief Minister V.D. Satheesh convened a review meet. The death toll, unfortunately, has risen to 15. And worst isn't over. The Met Department has forecast more rains in God's own country. Here's a ground report by Shivakumar.
Kerala is reeling under heavy rains. Multiple deaths, many missing, thousands homeless. And the forecast is bleak. Water levels in all major rivers across the region has risen sharply, triggering fresh flood fears in Kottayam, Patnamthitta and Alappuzha district. The Meenachil has surged nearly 3 feet overnight, while the Pampa and Manimala continue to swell under relentless rain. At Aranmula, the Pampa has breached its bank yet again, forcing authorities into another round of evacuations. Officials are now sounding the alarm on flash floods across the entire Pampa basin, as the river shows no sign of receding.
This is very close to the famous temple in Aranmula also, where this main road leading to the temple is completely filled with water. Yesterday also the region was facing waterlogging. Today also the scenes are no different. And you can see the NDRF now using speedboats to rescue some people who are stuck. They were learning that some older people, elderly, are stuck in the houses there. So they're going there. A high-level meeting was called today by Chief Minister to assess the situation, because yesterday there was a relief from rainfall. Even today there's no rainfall, but at night it starts raining heavily, and in the morning the regions are left inundated.
In Kottayam, the swollen Meenachil river has created waterlogged danger zones. Homes in Kottayam suburbs have all been inundated. The worst of it is in Patnamthitta. The upper Kuttanad region is locked in a severe flood crisis, and condition remains alarming.
We are here in Valamkulam. This is a region connecting Tiruvalla and Aranmula in Patnamthitta. Both of these places are one of the worst affected regions. In fact, even though it stopped raining in Aranmula, the waterlogging continues, and it is being said that the place will take some more days to recover from the waterlogging. People living close by says that it did not face waterlogging yesterday, but in the overnight rainfall that lashed this region, in the morning the place is filled with water.
Chief Minister V.D. Satheesan has convened an emergency meeting to assess the ground situation.
എല്ലാ ജില്ലകളിലും സ്ഥിതിഗതികൾ നിയന്ത്രണാധീനമാണ് എന്നാണ് റിപ്പോർട്ട് കിട്ടിയിട്ടുള്ളത്. പത്തനംതിട്ട ജില്ലയിൽ മാത്രം കുറച്ച് സ്ഥലങ്ങളിൽ വെള്ളം ഇറങ്ങിപ്പോകാനുണ്ട്, ചില പ്രദേശങ്ങളിൽ. ബാക്കിയുള്ള സ്ഥലങ്ങളിലെല്ലാം കാര്യങ്ങളെല്ലാം നിയന്ത്രണ വിധേയമായാണ് നിൽക്കുന്നത്.
As a precautionary measure, a holiday was declared for educational institutions in 12 districts of Kerala. The India Meteorological Department has forecast heavy rainfall in the coming days as well, accompanied by strong winds with speeds of 40 to 50 km per hour. With Shibimol KG, Bureau Report, India Today.
And Kerala Chief Minister V.D. Satheesan, who's been facing flack over pictures that went viral of him attending a feast amid this flood situation, has reacted to this controversy, dismissing all of the criticism. He said very clearly that I was coordinating with all necessary ministers, and that the communication was that they've got things under control. Not just that, he's also lashed out at his political opponents, saying, I didn't know that during previous floods, chief ministers refused to even eat anything. This kind of slander is unfortunate. So the Kerala chief minister hitting back, refusing to apologize or clarify, saying very, very clearly, there's nothing wrong with what I did because I was continuing to work round the clock and track what was happening.
ഞാൻ ഈ പറഞ്ഞുതരാം. രാവിലെ മുതൽ എല്ലാ ചോദ്യങ്ങളും ചോദിക്കുന്നത്, രാവിലെ മുതൽ 5 മണിക്കാണ് ഈ വിവരം അറിയുന്നത്. 5 മണി തൊട്ട് റവന്യൂ മിനിസ്റ്ററെ ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടു, ചീഫ് സെക്രട്ടറിയെ ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടു, ജില്ലയിലെ ചാർജുള്ള മന്ത്രിമാരെ ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടു, എല്ലാ കളക്ടർമാരെയും ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടു, എല്ലാ മന്ത്രിമാരും സ്പോട്ടിലെത്തി, എല്ലാ MLA-മാരെയും ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടു, എല്ലാ കളക്ടർമാരെയും ബന്ധപ്പെട്ടു. നമ്മൾ അങ്ങോട്ട് വരേണ്ട ആവശ്യമുണ്ടോ എന്ന് അവരോട് ചോദിച്ചു. വരേണ്ട ആവശ്യമില്ല എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. നമ്മൾ എടുത്ത പ്രോഗ്രാമിന് പോയി. ഞാൻ ഭക്ഷണം കഴിച്ചു പോയി അന്ന് 3 മണിയായപ്പോൾ. എനിക്കറിയില്ലായിരുന്നു 2018-ലും 19-ലും ദുരന്തം ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നപ്പോൾ അന്നത്തെ മുഖ്യമന്ത്രി നിരാഹാരമാണ് ഇരുന്നതെന്ന് എനിക്ക് അറിയില്ലായിരുന്നു. ഞാനൊന്ന് ഭക്ഷണം കഴിച്ചു പോയി. നിങ്ങൾ എത്ര അപവാദ പ്രചരണമാണ് നടക്കുന്നത്. ഞാൻ 3 മണിക്കാണ് ഞാൻ മലപ്പുറത്ത് എത്തുന്നത്, പൊന്നാനിയിലെത്തുന്നത്, സി ഹരിദാസ് സാറിൻ്റെ വീട്ടിൽ. ഞാൻ അപ്പുറത്തെ വീട്ടിൽ എനിക്ക് ഭക്ഷണം അറേഞ്ച് ചെയ്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു, എൻ്റെ ഒരു ഫ്രണ്ടിൻ്റെ വീട്ടിൽ. ഞാൻ ഭക്ഷണം കഴിക്കാൻ പാടില്ലേ? 3 മണിക്കാണ് ഞാൻ ഭക്ഷണം കഴിക്കുന്നത്. എന്ത് തെറ്റാണ്, എന്തൊരു അപവാദ പ്രചരണം.
That's VD is at a sarcastic best, saying very clearly that if there's a tragedy, of course I'm tracking it. Did former chief ministers never eat during floods? That's his response to all of the criticism that's come in of pictures of him at a feast and at inaugurations. I'm slipping into a short break here on Super 6. Coming up on the other side, we'll get you details of how actor Bhumi Pednekar, who's condemned abuses, has in fact faced a load of trolling online. She's posted a clarification. We'll get you details on that in just a minute.
Congress government in the center got rid of its own government because of a series of killings in Punjab, including many prominent people. So things had gone really bad in Punjab.
Congress party was trying to say that Akalis have to be defeated. You must not allow some other faction of the Akalis to prop up so that votes are divided.
They created this Frankenstein called Bhinderwala.
Welcome back. Amid uproar over the Prime Minister abuse videos, actor Bhumi Pednekar took to social media with her take, and she's facing backlash over condemning the crass comments against Prime Minister Modi. She had urged the youth to express their anger without abuses, but it also led to a whole lot of backlash, with comments coming in criticizing Bhumi Pednekar, asking her to speak about police brutality as well. She's issued a clarification right after we get you all the details in this report.
When a debate crosses the line into abuse, it is no longer just about disagreement. It becomes a question of humanity. Bhumi Pednekar has weighed in on the student protest row, condemning both abusive language and online hate. In a video shared on social media, Bhumi highlighted that the people have every right to voice their concerns over issues such as education and the NEET paper leak.
और हमारा बैकबोन हमारा कल्चर है, हमारा वैल्यू सिस्टम है, उससे दूर हमें नहीं जाना चाहिए.
However, she also underscored that dissent should remain respectful and never turn abusive. Appealing to the younger generation, she urged them to uphold the values of civil discourse.
क्या हम हमारे देश के, हमारे घर के बड़े बुजुर्गों से ऐसे बात करेंगे? क्या हम गाली गलौज कर पाएंगे? Guys, this is not a culture.
Adding that the country can move forward only through unity.
Come out and kind of address this. कि एक देश की प्रगति तभी होगी, तभी आगे बढ़ेगा जब कलेक्टिवली एकता के साथ, यूनिटी के साथ हम जो फ्लॉज है उनके बारे में भी बात करें और जो अच्छी चीज है उनके बारे में भी बात करें.
जंतर मंतर पर जो कुछ भी हुआ देश और दुनिया ने देखा है. कुछ शरारती बच्चों ने भद्दी भद्दी गालियां बोली. किसी भी सभ्य समाज को शोभा न दे ऐसे शब्दों का प्रयोग किया गया. ये गुमराह बच्चे हैं, उनको राह दिखाना हमारा काम है. उनको सजा देना, अदालतों के चक्कर कटवाना, समाज में उनको प्रताड़ित करना, इससे हम परिस्थितियां नहीं बदल पाएंगे. मैं उन्हें माफ करना चाहता हूं.
Meanwhile, Bhumi also addressed the disturbing online abuse faced by a young female student protester linked to the CJP-led demonstration.
क्या हम हमारे देश के, हमारे घर के बड़े बुजुर्गों से ऐसे बात करेंगे? क्या हम गाली गलौज कर पाएंगे? गाइस, दिस इज नॉट अ कल्चर. दिस इज रॉन्ग. एंड ये बात ना मुझे बहुत खटक रही थी. दैट्स व्हाई आई वांटेड टू कम आउट एंड kind of address this.
After the video surfaced online, the actor condemned the rape and death threats directed at the student and her family, calling such harassment completely unacceptable.
मैंने इंटरनेट पे एक वीडियो देखी जहाँ पे एक यंग लड़की जो प्रोटेस्ट का हिस्सा थी इंटरव्यू दे रही थी एंड शी लुक्ड विजिबली ब्रोकन एंड शेकन. उनका एक वीडियो था जो वायरल हो गया था एंड तब से उन्हें नॉन स्टॉप रेप थ्रेट्स और डेथ थ्रेट्स मिल रहे हैं. सिर्फ उन्हें नहीं, उनकी मदर को भी मिल रहे हैं, उनके परिवार को भी मिल रहे हैं एंड दैट इज अनएक्सेप्टेबल.
Interestingly, Bhumi shifted the focus from the protest itself to the growing culture of online intimidation.
We cannot bully a young girl. हम किसी यंग बच्चे के दिमाग में फियर साइकोसिस नहीं डाल सकते क्योंकि हम उनके ओपिनियन के साथ डिसएग्री करते हैं. एज वुमेन एनीवेज हम बहुत हरासमेंट झेलते हैं एंड एज अ पब्लिक फिगर आई हैव गॉन थ्रू दिस एक्सपीरियंस और मैं आपको बता नहीं सकती उसका कितना डीप लास्टिंग इम्पैक्ट होता है किसी की मेंटल हेल्थ में. हम सब सिर्फ एक ही चीज चाहते हैं कि देश की प्रगति हो, देश का भला हो.
The actor is in fact facing online backlash after urging protesters to avoid abusive language against Prime Minister Narendra Modi, urging people to separate disagreement from abuse. Bhumi said differences of opinion should never justify threats, bullying or intimidation. Bhumi's remarks come amid a wider debate over the language used during the student protests and the online backlash that followed. Entertainment Bureau, India Today.
One of the stories that's got the world talking, the mountains losing one of their greatest legends. Nirmal Purja, known to the world as Nimsdai, died after being caught in an avalanche on Pakistan's Broad Peak. We're remembering the man who inspired millions by conquering the world's highest peaks.
Giving up is not in the blood, sir. It's not in the blood.
At more than 26,000 feet, surrounded by ice, unstable snow, and deadly silence, a massive avalanche came crashing down the slopes of Broad Peak in Pakistan. In a matter of seconds, an international team of climbers disappeared beneath the snow. Among them was Nirmal Purja, the man the mountaineering world knew simply as Nimsdai. Purja was leading an expedition when the avalanche struck between the mountain's upper camps on July 30th. Heavy snowfall, unstable terrain, and hostile weather severely hampered rescue operations. His body was later recovered, confirming the news the global mountaineering community had feared. But Nirmal Purja was not merely another climber. A former Gurkha soldier and a veteran of Britain's elite Special Boat Service, he rewrote the limits of high-altitude mountaineering. In 2019, Purja climbed all 14 of the world's 8,000-meter peaks in just 6 months and 6 days. The previous record had taken nearly 8 years. His extraordinary mission, Project Possible, became a global symbol of courage and endurance. The journey was captured in the Netflix documentary, 14 Peaks, Nothing is Impossible. It also gave the world the line that came to define him. Giving up is not in the blood, sir. It is not in the blood. Purja later became part of the all-Nepalese team that completed the first successful winter ascent of K2. Broad Peak became his final mountain. The mountains gave him glory, records, and a place in history. And now, one of those mountains has claimed his life. But records can be broken. Legends cannot be replaced. For Nimsdai, giving up was never in the blood. And nothing was impossible.
If you give up, you die.
Bureau Report, India Today.
Giving up is not in the blood, sir. It's not in the blood.
Tributes have been pouring in from across the world for Nimsdai. I'm wrapping up this broadcast. I'm leaving you with a report, with a recap essentially of the 2026 Commonwealth Games. Now India's fared, wrapping up with 39 medals. In the absence of sports like shooting, wrestling, badminton and archery, the sports in which India usually wins medals, we've still managed to come up with the goods and finish in the top 5.
The Indian athletes stood up to the CWG challenge and brought glory to the nation in the most pruned down version of the games since 1994. India had 122 athletes in its contingent, with 38 returning home as CWG medalists. It meant that India finished the campaign in 4th position with 39 medals behind Australia, England and Canada. Of those 39 medals, 13 of them were gold, 17 silver, which is the most, and at 9, bronze, which is the least of them all. The Indian boxers proved to be the most successful. Of the 14 who had gone for the games, 10 of them ended up picking the gold and the remaining got silver.
टीम ने बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा किया है, इतने सारे गोल्ड और पूरी टीम का जो एफर्ट, कोचेस और पूरा बॉक्सिंग फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडिया, हमारे गवर्नमेंट सब ने इतना सपोर्ट किया है, तो उसके लिए ज़्यादा मैं खुश हूँ कि हम इंडिया टीम जो पहले हम कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स में 1 मेडल लेने के लिए हम इतना होते थे बॉक्सिंग में, लेकिन अभी पूरा टीम 10 का 10 मेडल है, वो बहुत बड़ी बात है मेरे लिए.
The athletics contingent bagged 10 medals, headlined by a historic 2-3 on the javelin podium by Neeraj Chopra and Yashveer Singh.
ऐसा एशियन गेम्स में हुआ था कि और मैंने जीता था और काफ़ी खुशी है कि यशवीर ने ऐसी जगह पे अपना पर्सनल बेस्ट किया जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी था और बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है कि हम पोडियम पे हैं. बिल्कुल हमेशा खुशी रहता है कि ये नेशनल एंथम बजे, पर ठीक है मैंने भी अपना सीजन बेस्ट किया है और कमबैक ठीक हो रहा है. अभी बाकी कॉम्पिटिशन्स भी हैं.
8 medals came from weightlifting, and of course, it had to be Mirabai Chanu to get her hands on the only gold medal that India won. So, that in nutshell was India's time in Glasgow. The future of the games may be uncertain, but for now, the nation prepares itself to host the competition in 2030. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Time. It's mere lip service that is paid instead of concrete action. This city, this country is no country for women.
At the end of Ramleela Maidan, none other but Anna Hazare as the next poster boy. These visuals right there symbolize what this movement is all about.
Rounds of tear gas, you can hear it right now. You can see the sense of panic. The government saying we understand the problem. We are trying to clean it up.
Preeti Chaudhary, India Today.
तो निराशा है कि मैं गोल नहीं जीत पाई। मैंने कोशिश पूरा किया था और मेरा मैच भी ऐसा ही क्या बहुत क्लोज गया और उससे ज़्यादा खुशी है मेरा टीम के लिए। टीम ने बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छा किया है, इतने सारे गोल्ड और पूरी टीम का जो एफर्ट, कोचेस और पूरा बॉक्सिंग फेडरेशन ऑफ इंडिया, हमारे गवर्नमेंट सब ने इतना सपोर्ट किया है, तो उसके लिए ज़्यादा मैं खुश हूँ कि हम इंडिया टीम जो पहले हम कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स में एक मेडल लेने के लिए हम इतना होते थे बॉक्सिंग में, लेकिन अभी पूरा टीम 10 का 10 मेडल है, वो बहुत बड़ी बात है मेरे लिए।
थोड़े चूक गए हैं और ये कमी मैं एशियन गेम में पूरी करने की कोशिश करूंगा। मैंने अपना बेस्ट दिया था और इंग्लैंड के और मेरे की फाइट खींची है और थोड़ी चूक रह गई है, ये मैं एशियन गेम में पूरा करूंगा इसको।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
क्या कहूँ, मेरे पास अल्फाज नहीं। ये लोग वहाँ से मजदूरी करने के लिए आते हैं, अपने बीवी बच्चों का पेट पालने के लिए आते हैं। ये भी हम जैसे इंसान हैं। हमारे जो लोग यहाँ मजदूरी करते हैं, काम करते हैं, अपने बच्चों को पालते हैं, इतनी दूर ये क्यों आते हैं? क्योंकि शायद वहाँ इनका रोज़गार नहीं, यहाँ कश्मीर में इनको रोज़गार मिलता है। तो ऐसे में इनको इस तरह से गोलियाँ मार के इनको मेरे पास अल्फाज नहीं इस इंसिडेंट को कंडेम करने के लिए। मुझे लगता है कि ये सिलसिला रुकना चाहिए और जो सिक्योरिटी है, जो यहाँ इतना सिक्योरिटी की वजह से लोगों को इतना अजाब है लोगों पे, उसके बावजूद ये इंसिडेंट्स होना, मुझे लगता है कहीं ना कहीं सिक्योरिटी में कोताही है। और दूसरी मेरी ये गुजारिश है कि एक तो यहाँ की जो गवर्नमेंट है उसको इन लोगों को मुआवजा देना चाहिए, वहाँ की तो देगी। दूसरा, इसका बाज़ाब्ता इन्वेस्टिगेशन होना चाहिए। यात्रा की वजह से इतनी सिक्योरिटी होने के बावजूद ऐसे इंसिडेंट्स क्यों हो रहे हैं?
इसकी तहकीकात होनी चाहिए और ईमानदारी से तहकीकात होनी चाहिए, कौन मारने वाले। इससे पहले भी पुलिस वाले की उस पर अटैक हुआ है। मुझे नहीं पता ये क्यों उस वक्त होता है जब हम लोग स्टेट हुड मांग रहे हैं।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Suzlon, good energies that work.
Very good evening. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Chaudhary. Lots news coming in, especially from the state of Bihar on one particular by-polls, which seemingly have surprised. All of that, but first up, allow me to take you through the headlines. Prashant Kishore breaches 3-decade-old BJP bastion, wins Bankipur Assembly by-polls by over 19,000 votes. While speaking to India Today, Prashant Kishore lashes out on BJP for appointing Samrat Chaudhary Bihar CM.
कि भाजपा ने चुनाव जीतने के बाद यहाँ पर एक अपराधी प्रवृत्ति के आदमी को, एक गलत चाल चरित्र के चेहरा वाले व्यक्ति को बिहार का नेतृत्व दिया है, जो बिहार के लोगों को स्वीकार्य नहीं है.
High-stakes assembly by-polls end. BJP retains Manjalpur seat in Gujarat. Congress also retains MPs Datia by over 6,000 votes. Last-minute confusion mars Karnataka Cabinet expansion. 20 names were cleared, but only 19 ministers take oath. Rebellion results in at least 3 MLAs tendering resignation. A Delhi court acquits former Wrestling Federation of India chief Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh in sexual harassment case filed by 6 women wrestlers. RSS speaks out on students' protest led by CJP, calls Jantar Mantar protesters anti-nationals. CJP hits back, says RSS has no right to call anyone anti-national.
जो गांधी के हत्यारे हैं, उनको कोई मॉरल राइट नहीं है किसी और को एंटी नेशनल कहने का. इस देश में सबसे पहला कोई एंटी नेशनल था तो नथुराम गोडसे था.
Top story. The man who spent years scripting electoral victories for others has finally got one for himself after doing not so well in the Bihar elections. Prashant Kishore has today won the Bankipur Assembly by-polls, handing Jan Suraj, his party, its first ever electoral win and ending the BJP's 30-year-old hold on one of its strongest bastions in Bihar. Elsewhere, the BJP retained Manjalpur in Gujarat, which also went to by-polls, and counting was today, while the Congress maintained Datia in Madhya Pradesh. But Bankipur delivered the biggest political headline of the day.
A tectonic shift in Bihar politics. Monday blues for the BJP. Prashant Kishore has pulled off a major political upset, winning the Bankipur Assembly by-poll and ending the BJP's 30-year-old grip on one of its strongest urban bastions. The poll strategist turned politician has won his maiden election, defeating both the BJP and the RJD in a high-stakes triangular contest. The victory also gives Jan Suraj its first ever poll victory.
मेहनत और जीत का सीधा सरोकार नहीं है. 30 साल का किला 30 दिन भी नहीं लगा, और उसकी एक बड़ी वजह यह है कि भाजपा ने चुनाव जीतने के बाद यहाँ पर एक अपराधी प्रवृत्ति के आदमी को, एक गलत चाल चरित्र के चेहरा वाले व्यक्ति को बिहार का नेतृत्व दिया है, जो बिहार के लोगों को स्वीकार्य नहीं है.
The win marks a dramatic turnaround for a party that drew a blank just months ago. In the 2025 Assembly elections, Jan Suraj contested 238 seats, failed to win even one, and lost deposits in 236 constituencies. Bankipur has now rewritten that story. So what worked for Prashant Kishore in Bankipur? anti-incumbency against BJP, jobs and education pitch, youth anger over paper leaks, strong urban connect, third option appeal and triangular contest. Unlike the BJP's conventional campaign, Kishore went hyper-local. Mahalla meetings, chai baithaks, padyatras and Jan Samvad programs became his political campaign trail. His pitch remained simple. Vote for your children's future, not the politics of the past. But Bankipur has never been an easy constituency to crack. It is a layered caste matrix. Kayas form 14% of electorate, followed by OBCs 15%, Yadavs who form 10 to 12%, Muslims 7 to 9% and Dalits who form 8% of the voters. Bankipur's caste equations make it a constituency where social equations have traditionally shaped outcomes. For the BJP, it's the loss of a constituency closely associated with party president Nitin Nabeen's political career. For RJD, finishing behind Jan Suraj strengthens Prashant Kishore's claim as a serious challenger in Bihar's opposition space. Elsewhere, the BJP managed to retain Manjalpur in Gujarat, while the Congress notched up a key victory in Madhya Pradesh's Datia. But it was Bankipur that delivered the day's biggest political headline. Bankipur may have been just won by poll, but its message is far bigger than one seat. For years, Prashant Kishore scripted victories for others. Today, he has scripted his own, and in the process, redrawn Bihar's political map. With Rohit Singh and Shashi Bhushan, Bureau Report, India Today.
All right, on the channel, we're going to get some of India's top political editors. But before we do that, the man on ground, Rohit Singh, who has documented Rohit, some would say very surprising, many would suggest historic win today.
Well, yes, it's a historic win for Prashant Kishore because making inroads into the BJP bastion for last 35 years is no ordinary work that he has done. So that is a big win for Prashant Kishore. But there are a couple of messages also as far as other political parties of Bihar is concerned. A big political message for the BJP. I can say a wake-up call for the BJP because remember, there are a lot of issues that were raised in this elections by Prashant Kishore, whether it was the death of the NEET aspirant in Patna in January this year, then the Bhojpur encounter that took place, and then the protest of the students that took place just 1 week ahead of the crucial voting. Remember, voting took place on 30th of July, and on 2 days, that is 22nd and 25th, there was massive student protest in Patna that has taken place. And therefore, it seems that there was some sort of an anger that was simmering within the BJP cadre also, and the voters of Bankipur, who traditionally have voted for the BJP. And Prashant Kishore has managed to cash on that anger that was simmering against the BJP. On the other hand, there's a bigger and a larger message I can tell for Tejasvi Yadav, because now Prashant Kishore emerging as a bigger face of the opposition and making a place for himself in the opposition space does not augur well for Tejasvi Yadav, because remember, Tejasvi, despite being in politics, is not considered to be a serious politician many a times. Because remember, just a week back, there was a monsoon session of the parliament of the assembly that took place, and Tejasvi was absent all the 5 days.
In London. I just want to ask you one quick question, Rohit, before... Clearly, Prashant Kishore has brewed the perfect political storm where this bipoles is concerned. You spoke with Prashant Kishore. We played that interview out. But every statement he's given after his win, Rohit, pinpointed to wanting the Chief Minister of Bihar to step down. Is this going to be his agenda from here on?
Well, absolutely. He has taken on Samrat Chaudhary for the last 1 year or so. Remember, when before the Bihar Assembly elections took place in 2025, he was hitting out at Samrat Chaudhary, alleging that he was involved in murder cases and all those things, questioning his educational qualifications. And just now, before the Bakipur elections also, he was calling this election a referendum for Samrat Chaudhary, because he claimed that Samrat Chaudhary was a selected chief minister. He was not an elected chief minister. And that is why he called this election a referendum for Samrat Chaudhary. And now that BJP has lost this seat, Prashant Kishore is going hard against Samrat Chaudhary, demanding his resignation, calling him that the people of Bakipur have rejected him. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Rohit, for joining us. Mind you, viewers, this is the first electoral battle that the BJP and its ally in Bihar have gone into without the face of Nitish Kumar. They won the last election as him as the chief ministerial face. I want to now cut across to, like I promised, the country's top political editors who've watched politics for a very long time, and they'll be able to calibrate for us that are we overestimating, exaggerating Prashant Kishore's win, or does this win actually mean a little more than just a bipole win? I have with me in the studio our consulting editor, Rajdeep Sardesai, Raj Chengappa, Group Editorial Director, Publishing India Today Group, Mr. Prabhu Chawla, Editorial Director, The New Indian Express and The Sunday Standard, and Manisha Prem, Political Analyst, someone who knows Bihar by the back of her hand. Before I cut across to you three gentlemen, allowed to bring, I'd like you to allow me to get in Manisha Prem, the true Bihar ki beti. How shocked is Miss Prem today with what you have seen? Do you think this is just a bipole result, or do you think that has a bigger political connotation to it?
No, this has been huge. It's a tectonic shift, so to say. Those who understand Patna urban understand that for the last 3 decades or more than that, Nitin Naveen's father, the late Shri Naveen Kishore Sinha, had been holding the constituency. Between him and Sushil Modi, they had recrafted the politics of Patna urban. Remember, this was a bastion of the left before the 90s. Comrade Ram Avatar Shastri would win these elections. But after the 1990s, the emergence of the BJP as a force, and this constituency more than any other constituency, remember, out of 3 lakh voters, 2 lakh are upper caste. Also, Kayas find their concentration here. So the huge Kayas concentration, and of course, all of the historic land sites that you know, the institutions that you know in Patna are all within this area, including, of course, the informal shadow education market in Musallapur Gali and Hart. So what happened then that the educated upper caste BJP-loving Bihari for over decades, more than a quarter century, shifted in less than 6 months and voted lock, stock and barrel. The end of the politics of the majority, so to say, the end of the Agda Pichhada divides. Remember, the SIR in a sense had put the minority community on the back foot, the Sabji Bagh Muslims, etc. Many names deleted. What happened to that majority? What happened to that constituency that has just given the BJP as a national party its Yuva Chehra, its own somewhat a Gen Z political neta of Nitin Naveen, a huge setback to the central command model of the BJP that was falling in love with the Bihari form of politics and the Bihari Naya Netas. Samrat Chaudhary also on the back foot. Remember, one Prashant Kishore in the Bihar Legislative Assembly will be far higher than any sound decibel that will come out of Samrat Chaudhary and Tejaswi Yadav sparring at each other. So huge tectonic shift this one, and the narrative is likely to change.
Rajdeep, politically loaded message for Prashant Kishore in his own words, from Farsh to Arsh. Do you see this as a bigger hit to the opposition, the RJD, or do you think the BJP has more to lose here?
Look, I think both have lost. That's very clear. The fact is that a seat which you win by 58,000 votes just 6 months ago, you now lose by 20,000 is a 78,000 vote shift in a seat which was held by your national president. So in that sense, a huge blow to Samrat Chaudhary, the chief minister, who became chief minister just 3 months ago after Nitish Kumar was virtually forced to quit. And it reveals, therefore, why the BJP perhaps needed Nitish Kumar more than even Nitish needed the BJP 6 months ago. That's why even an ailing Nitish Kumar had to be made the face of the Bihar elections in 2025. With no Nitish there, with Samrat Chaudhary there, and look at whom Prashant Kishore relentlessly targeted. He didn't speak about Narendra Modi. He spoke about Samrat Chaudhary time and again. As you said, he's asking for his resignation. So this is a massive defeat in that sense, a credibility loss for both Nitin Nabin, who has even lost in his own ward, and for Samrat Chaudhary. As far as the RJD is concerned, of course it's a loss. When you've again come down from 45,000 votes to just about 8-10,000 votes, you've also suffered a huge blow.
Rajdeep, can I just interrupt you? And the reason I'm doing so is Prashant Kishore just speaking. Just quickly, let's dip into it and I'm back with Rajdeep. Just 10 seconds.
करें, ये उचित नहीं है। तो अगर मोदी जी को चिंता गुजरात की है, वहाँ से 25 MP जाते हैं, बिहार से 40 MP जिता कर जाता है। हम लोगों का भी हक है, हम लोग के बच्चों का भी हक है कि यहाँ पर फैक्ट्रियाँ लगें, यहाँ पर रोजगार हो, ताकि हम लोग के बच्चों को ट्रेन में, बस में जानवर की तरह बैठकर बाहर मजदूरी करने न जाना पड़े। और ये संदेश बांकीपुर की जनता ने बिल्कुल स्पष्ट शब्दों में भाजपा के केंद्रीय नेतृत्व को दिया है। मेरा ये विश्वास है कि भाजपा का जो नेतृत्व है वो इस जो मतदान का जो नतीजा आया है इसको गंभीरता से लेगा और बिहार में किसी सक्षम आदमी को, किसी स्वच्छ और अच्छे चरित्र काबिल व्यक्ति को मुख्यमंत्री बनाएगा, ताकि आने वाले 4 साल में बिहार की तरक्की हो सके। मुख्यमंत्री तो भाजपा का ही बनेगा, लेकिन भाजपा किसी अच्छे व्यक्ति को बनाए। कुशवाहा बनाना है, कुशवाहा ही बनाइए, लेकिन किसी अच्छे आदमी को बनाइए, किसी अपराधी को बिहार पर मत थोपिए। और आज बांकीपुर की जनता ने यही बात बड़े स्पष्ट तौर पर कहा है। वो ठीक है, बधाई दी है। बधाई सम्राट चौधरी ने मुझे पहले भी अपना भाई बोला है। मेरी कोई सम्राट चौधरी से व्यक्तिगत लड़ाई नहीं है। लड़ाई इस बात की है कि 13 करोड़ बिहार के लोगों का जीवन सुधारने के लिए क्या हम लोग को कोई काबिल व्यक्ति हम लोग का नेतृत्व करना चाहिए, या कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति नेतृत्व करना चाहिए जिसका चाल चरित्र चेहरा खुद ही क्वेश्चनेबल है। बात व्यक्ति की नहीं है, बात इसकी है कि बिहार आज देश का सबसे गरीब और पिछड़ा राज्य है। तो जिस मोदी जी को, जिस भाजपा को हम लोग वोट देते हैं, एनडीए को वोट देते हैं, क्या उनकी जिम्मेवारी सिर्फ गुजरात के प्रति है? भाई बिहार के बच्चों का भी तो हक है। गुजरात में 1 लाख करोड़ का बुलेट ट्रेन बने, हम लोग को उससे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, लेकिन बिहार के बच्चों के लिए भी तो कुछ सोचा जाए। ये बात
बिहार का दुर्भाग्य भी रहा है कि बिहार में एक स्ट्रॉन्ग ऑपोजिशन भी नहीं रही है। तेजस्वी यादव के
देखिए, स्ट्रॉन्ग ऑपोजिशन रहा है कि नहीं रहा है, अभी तो सत्ता में भाजपा है, डबल इंजन की सरकार है। आने वाले 3 बरस में मेरी अपेक्षा ये है कि दिल्ली और राज्य दोनों मिलकर बिहार की तरक्की में पूरी ताकत लगाएं, बिहार से पलायन बंद हो, बिहार के बच्चों को रोजगार के लिए बाहर न जाना पड़े। ये सिंगल एजेंडा है। अगर ये होगा, हम लोग भाजपा के पक्ष में वोट करने के लिए कहेंगे, लेकिन आप पहले पलायन रोकिए। बिहार के हर प्रखंड में, हर जिले में फैक्ट्री लगाने की व्यवस्था कीजिए। अगर गुजरात के हर प्रखंड में, हर तहसील में, हर मंडल में, हर जिले में फैक्ट्री लग सकती है, तो बिहार में क्यों नहीं? अगर सूरत में 10 लाख लोग मजदूरी कर सकते हैं, तो पटना में क्यों नहीं, बेगूसराय में क्यों नहीं?
All right, Rajdeep, this was Prashant Kishore just speaking to us right now.
Look, as you saw, and we mentioned this, his attack is on Samrat Chaudhary, Chief Minister for just 3 months, and there's been a lot of disquiet over the manner in which his appointment was made. And there are question marks over a number of BJP Chief Ministers. Samrat Chaudhary is just one of them. Are they being handpicked by the BJP High Command much in the way that the Congress would do in its pomp in the 70s and 80s? Even if the local leaders may not necessarily want a particular individual, he's imposed on them from above. So the vulnerability of Samrat Chaudhary is being revealed there in the manner in which Prashant Kishore is relentlessly attacking Samrat Chaudhary. The point about RJD, the RJD has also significantly declined because at the end of the day, the RJD has been unable to reinvent itself over the last decades. Just 6 years ago, Preeti, it was Tejasvi Yadav who came within a whisker of becoming Chief Minister, riding a wave of youth, anger and discontent. Now, 6 years later, as we are seeing in Bakipur, that same youth, anger and discontent is moving towards Prashant Kishore, who, unlike Tejasvi, does not carry the baggage of the past. Tejasvi always carried the baggage in a way. It was his advantage and his disadvantage that he was the son of Lalu Prasad. So, people are looking for change from the duopoly of JDU BJP on one side, RJD on the other. And Prashant Kishore has capitalized, crystallized on it at the right time. Chanda Chori, the student protests, the fact that the BJP last minute even switched its candidate, became complacent. Prashant blindsided them by taking this big risk. And when the RJD should have been actually contesting the election fiercely, where was Tejasvi? He was in London. So all of this has come to give Prashant Kishore an opportunity. I don't think we should now suggest that Prashant Kishore is going to be the face of Bihar just yet. But he now has an opportunity with a seat in the legislature to, over the next 4 years, build himself as a challenger to the BJP-JDU combined. And as you can see, if the BJP retains the kind of chief ministers it has in several states, it will become increasingly vulnerable. The double engine is sputtering in certain states.
You know, I want to bring in Raj Chingappa into this conversation, and I'll ask our producers to pull out what the vote share swing looks like and why, Raj, it is, if you look at it, Mr. Chingappa, it's astounding. Because just 10 months ago, you had the Jan Swaraj in 2025, same assembly seat, polling less than 5%. Today, Prashant Kishore has nearly polled 50% of the votes in Bankipur. You look at the drop in BJP vote share, you look at the drop in RJD vote share. It's both. He has devastated both vote banks of the BJP as well as the RJD today.
You know, Preeti, I'd like to look at this win with a wider frame. I think both Manisha and Rajdeep had summed up the impact well. And just to take a word that Manisha PM had used in terms of the tectonic shift that we are seeing there, I would look at it as one more shot that has been fired from Bihar, as we've seen from Delhi, Jantar Mantar, and in Tamil Nadu, a shot that is resonating across the country, as the other two had done so. And the reason for that is the BJP has to look out for itself now, the ruling BJP right across the country. You are seeing within weeks of what happened in Jantar Mantar, the big sea change that is happening in Bihar, you could say, yes, this is only one sort of win that's there, and therefore you can't extrapolate too much. But clearly this is a warning for the BJP that they cannot take the country for granted anymore. Not as we saw in Tamil Nadu, not that the BJP was a major factor, but as Rajdeep pointed out, every single party has to recalibrate. The duopoly that had in Tamil Nadu is gone. It may still be there in Bihar. We have to see more, but Vijay certainly spelled the beginning of that Gen Z movement, the young movement, the anger that is being shown of discarding the regular parties and then moving, as we saw in Jantar Mantar, the kind of protest that brought down a union minister. And now we are seeing in Bihar a follow-up of that. Early days as yet, but clearly the BJP should take this warning that this is not going to be the end of it.
Well, you know, you talk about the Gen Z. We just want to throw, a fact out there that Bihar in Uttar Pradesh has over 30% of people, closing to 40%, that is Gen Z. So, and, imagine how many of them would be voting in this particular election. I want to bring in Mr. Prabhu Chawla into this conversation. Mr. Chawla, will this also, you had Mr. Chingappa who stressed on warning bells for the BJP, but this also somewhere down the line, which he also alluded to, will change the dynamics of the opposition in Bihar. Already you had the Congress split in Bihar, whether to support Prashant Kishore or to go with, in this case, with RJD. How do you see things pan out? Sir, one more.
Preeti, we are looking for a picture which doesn't exist. I don't agree with all the three, unfortunately, panelists who are speaking, because one by-election is not going to dictate the politics of Bihar or of the nation. I would look at the picture, it was a confrontation or a conflict between two personalities. One was a Rottweiler and the other was a Labrador. Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
So it was a fight between two personalities. Prashant Kishore would have won election even 5 months ago if he had contested election from any institution. Because he is a pan-India known figure. And you're putting up a person against a known entity there. Therefore, I would say it was a victory of Prashant Kishore's personality, not of any ideology, defeat or anybody else. Yes, there was the anti-chief minister sentiments in there. He has been campaigning in Samprat Chaudhary. So when you say what powered his victory, I would say the powerless chief minister powered the victory. But looking in terms of so-and-so has won because he has been able to get the Gen Z, he has been able to get this, he has won election, he has fought election for 12 chief ministers. He claimed today that he has then crafted the victory of 12 chief ministers. 8 of them were winning election anyway. So he has good PR machinery, I know it. He speaks very well. He has the figures at his hand. His campaign was very well conducted. But putting it into a perspective, it was a vote against the sitting Chief Minister. I would not agree. Yes, there are sentiments against Chief Minister. Normally, a by-election is never lost by a ruling party within 6 months in coming to power. But comparing Jam Sinha with Prashant Kishore and then building a narrative around it, that is the vote against Nabeen, it against BJP, it against RJD, it's too much. We look into the excuses or some explanation which don't exist. It is just an election between two personalities. One was just a pygmy, another was a little bigger than what face was. He was a parent state person. He pulled out some Sinha. They won it for 35 years because of the family fiefdom. Even if somebody else had been put, like I would say Ravi Shankar Prasad would have been put there, he would have defeated Prashant Kishore. So we are looking at something which doesn't exist. Let us reduce it to just it is a victory of Prashant Kishore, a well-deserved victory. He campaigned well, he spoke well, he raised all the issues. But looking into the picture that he has changed the whole matrix of this place, Kayas have not voted, Das have not voted, 50% of the people, you are saying at that, yes, some Prashant Kishore candidate, that woman who fought last time, got only 7,000 votes. This fellow was won by 20,000 votes, as Rajdeep was saying, difference of 70,000 votes. It is because of the candidate. Just candidate is the person there. But there was anti-incumbency, maybe. But I would put in that way that BJP should not have taken that risk. They should have put up a proper candidate who could match the personality of Prashant Kishore.
Interesting, Mr. Chawla, because you talk about Ravi Shankar Prasad, Prashant Kishore, in every sabha quoted what he alleged was said by Ravi Shankar Prasad, which was किसी भी कुत्ते बिल्ली को अगर बीजेपी खड़ा कर देगी उस बाकीपुर से तो वो भी जीत जाएगा. This was what Prashant Kishore was quoting, which he said was allegedly said by Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad. But fair point, sir.
Preeti, if you remember, people.
Yes.
Preeti was, I would remind you, Congress people used to say, हम बिजली के खंबे को भी खड़ा कर देंगे, जीत लेंगे. These are the way. Ravi Shankar Prasad is not known for decency. He is always arrogant. That is a different
issue.
You are comparing one Sinha with Prashant Kishore.
Okay.
Congress was equally arrogant at that time.
Fair point, sir. You're right.
The way people are fighting. Let me complete.
Yes.
Let me complete what I am trying to say, because the question is, we're looking into big picture that BJP is finished, Nabeen is this is, but I can agree, RJD is almost dying there. That's perhaps the strategy, because regional party, Yadav was not visible there, he doesn't campaign, he lost his credibility. I can agree on that. But Prashant Kishore was sure victory from the day one, when Sinha was put up against him. Any journalist who was covering there would have seen that nobody was there. If it was one of the people who were prominent leader of the BJP.
Okay, you're saying, sir, it's all upon the candidate. Even though Nitin Nabeen practically parked himself there in the last 2 weeks. But, okay, I want to take final comments from all of you. I'll begin with Rajdeep, because he's vociferously shaking his head and wanting to come in. You don't quite agree with Mr. Chawla, Rajdeep.
I respect Mr. Chawla's political knowledge, but I think he's got that wrong. Nobody, A, first said BJP is finished. But B, they said, to say that this was because BJP put up a weak candidate, therefore Prashant has won, is wrong. This is the seat of the BJP sitting national president, who parked himself in the constituency. This is a seat where the chief minister was doing roadshow after roadshow. This is a clear questioning of the existing leadership of the BJP in Bihar. I've made the distinction. This is not about Narendra Modi and what's happening at the center. This is much more about what is happening in Bihar. Nitish Kumar was seen as a credible face of Bihar, like it or not. Samrat Chaudhary does not carry the same equity with the BJP voters, particularly the BJP upper caste voters. I think that has to be recognized. In a constituency with more than 50% upper caste, if you lose by such a big margin in 6 months, to only blame it on the local candidate, I think is clearly not the reason. The fact is the BJP grew complacent. The fact is the BJP took the voter for granted. I know BJP leaders still yesterday who say, हाँ वो fight दे रहा है, लेकिन हम लोग 8-10 हज़ार से निकलेंगे. On what basis? The truth of the matter is, the manner in which they changed the candidate also at the last moment. There was confusion, there was complacency, and there was a questioning of the current leadership of the BJP in Bihar. And I maintain there are several BJP chief ministers today who are letting down the so-called double engine. What's happened in Datia? Mohan Yadav was campaigning there relentlessly. You did not give the seat to Narottam Mishra. His supporters went on the BJP is making the same mistakes that the Congress made. You cannot sit in Delhi and run states anymore.
Okay, I have only X amount of time. Okay, Mr. Chabra, you want to come in for your rebuttal? Final comments. Make your point.
Of course, I have to comment because the way Rajiv is also decided, okay, Prashant Kishore is a very hero, he's created such a history. I'm again coming back to the same thing. That candidate was definitely but victory partially because 80% is because of the candidate. You are putting in terms of what is happening. Because Prashant Kishore is a nationally known figure. The question is you are talking about, and I said in the beginning, Samrat Chaudhary is a liability there. Yes. Because of Samrat Chaudhary, there must have been some anti-vote, but Samrat Chaudhary himself won votes by massive majority. He got the mandate of the people. How do you explain that?
That
was
so
bad.
Why did he win? That was when the BJP got 90% of the seats and Nitish Kumar was the face. There is no Nitish Kumar now. There is no Nitish Kumar sir anymore. There is now people are looking at Samrat Chaudhary.
This is turning out to be a democratic newsroom. Editors. Okay,
I did not interrupt you.
Yes, sir, I agree. I am moderating this.
Stop him.
Yes,
because
please stop it, Rajdeep, sir. Okay. Mr. Chavla, go ahead. Rajdeep, please. Okay, Mr. Chavla.
He should not interrupt me.
He won't interrupt you, sir.
I've been covering politics for 45 years. I am making my point of view. I'm making point. I'm not attacking any personally. But I say it's my point of view. The question is some other candidate would have been put there. Prashant Kishore, I know, is a good PR person.
I'll come to you, man. Don't interrupt him. Please let him give him. I'll come to you.
Let me speak, yeah.
Yes, sir. Please make your point.
Let me speak, yeah. You interview everybody interviews him 10 times in a year. Same time he repeats the same thing. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm saying he was a better candidate than the candidate fighting there. He had a better strategy, he had a better message, he had a better methodology. But his victory is not because there is a BJP anti-incumbency BJP vote that much. Yes, there is a anti-Samrat Chaudhary there happening. Candidate was bad. There is some optics were bad there. But Prashant Kishore was one, it will make it. He's a one member in the assembly. Out of 243, he'll get 1 minute to speak. You get time to speak only according to what the number of people you got.
Okay, sir.
He is making the big promises. Yes, he is a good orator.
Fair point, sir. Allow me to bring in. I have
but you can't write off the BJP.
Fair point, sir. On that note, I want to bring in Manisha Priyam and then Raj Chingappa for final comments. Go ahead, Ms. Priyam. Make your point.
So, two very quick comments. One is that the very esteemed colleagues have been out of sync. This constituency, more than any other constituency, has nursed the politics of the BJP for the last 3 decades when the BJP was nowhere on the map of Bihar. Remember, the BJP and RSS politics happened in Jharkhand, not in the northern and southern parts of Bihar, but this constituency, and that's why Ravi Shankar Prasad said what he did. Now look at the fact that Gandhi Maidan, Ashok Rajpath, Mahendru Ghat, banks of the Ganges, all the important landmarks that is today the pride of the Bihari are within this constituency. This constituency means a lot to Bihar, and if there has been any signaling of political voice ever in Bihar, whether it was Jai Prakash Narayan or it was Karpuri Thakur, and that huge rally in Gandhi Maidan where Nitish was offered open appointment, all the unemployed were given open appointments by Karpuri, it is this place, Gandhi Maidan, dictating the turn of politics. And remember, this land matters more than others. Some constituencies are more important than others. And Nitin Naveen's father's politics, very critical to the BJP. Today that letdown is very important to note, and therefore not another ordinary election where a candidate lost just because he or she was weak and something else happened. Today, definitely a question mark on Samrat's inability to see what was going wrong.
Okay. Final comments, Mr. Chingappa. I need to move on to another story.
Sure, I understand.
It was not an RSS constituency. It was not an RSS constituency.
I think you've had your say. Let me just...
it was Sinha's constituency.
Okay.
Fine. Let me just make a few larger points, which I think we'll... One, I think I disagree with Prabhu. I believe that this is no more politics as usual. There is... this is in many senses an inflection point, a seminal change that is happening. And we have to see that every single, just not the BJP, every single party has to recalibrate its strategy. It cannot take voters for granted anymore. As Manisha Priyam said, this was a done deal for the BJP. It looked like that from the beginning. And, you know, they cantered in thinking that they'll win, but it hasn't happened. And we are seeing those signs across. So you cannot just say that the Gen Z and what happened in Jantar Mantar was a flash in the pan. I think we are seeing, as I said, there is a sequencing that is happening where it shows that youth unrest and certainly a lot of dissatisfaction is beginning to show, and that is gaining a lot of traction. So the BJP has to be careful because it rules across so many states, particularly at the center. They will have to recalibrate. They will have to take into account they lost one of their bastions and they had to really step back in Delhi. And if we saw what happened in Tamil Nadu, every party that was the usual party has to take cognizance of these developments.
Well, I really appreciate all four of you for taking the time out and joining us. Thank you, Mr. Chawla, Ms. Priyam, and Mr. Chingappa. It's a pleasure to have three very distinct points of views, and also Rajdeep, who was there with us. I want to quickly move on to the other story, and that is emanating where Jantar Mantar is reverberating all the way in Jharkhand. After Jantar Mantar, agitation over paper leaks and exam reforms, hundreds and thousands of students have taken to the streets of Ranchi, alleging corruption in recruitment exams and demanding sweeping reforms. Here's more.
Delhi's student uprising has found its echo in Ranchi. After Jantar Mantar, the battle over jobs, paper leaks and recruitment has now reached Jharkhand. Jaipal Singh Munda Stadium has turned into the epicenter of a growing youth movement. Tricolors flutter and students have launched an indefinite satyagrah, alleging deep-rooted corruption in Jharkhand's recruitment system. The students are protesting over alleged paper leaks in State Public Service Commission and Staff Selection Commission exams, evaluation errors and OMR discrepancies, years of delayed recruitment examinations, irregularities in the recruitment process, repeated exam delays and rising unemployment.
माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी, आप झारखंड के नौजवानों को नौकरी बेचना बंद कीजिए और जितने भी आपके कार्यकाल में परीक्षाएं हुए हैं जेपीएससी और जेएसएससी में, वो सबका सीआईडी से नहीं सीबीआई से जांच कराइए ताकि झारखंड के नौजवानों को न्याय मिल सके।
सरकार जब तक हमारी जो मुद्दे हैं, जो मांग है, जब तक वो मानती नहीं है, तब तक हम लोग यहाँ से डटे रहेंगे।
पूरी तरह से जेएसएससी, जेपीएससी और सारे झारखंड के एग्जाम में रिफॉर्म चाहते हैं, बिना गड़बड़ी के एकदम निष्पक्ष एग्जाम हो, यही चाहते हैं।
कोई हुई सरकार को जगाना है तो नींद नहीं आती हम लोग।
The face of the movement is Devendranath Mato. Mirroring Sonam Wangchuk's hunger strike during the Jantar Mantar agitation, Mato has now begun an indefinite fast, vowing to continue until the students' demands are heard.
अच्छा, कुछ अरेस्ट भी हुआ, फ्रेश अरेस्ट वो सब जो कार्रवाई हो रही है उसको कैसे देख रहे हैं? आज भी कुछ अरेस्टिंग हुआ?
ये सब लिफाफ होती है, ऐसा बहुत बार हुआ है। कार्रवाई होती है, गिरफ्तारी होता है, इस्तीफा देते हैं, लेकिन अचानक एडमिट कार्ड जारी करके एग्जाम ले लिया जाता है और सीट को बेचने में सफल हो जाते हैं, लेकिन इस बार नहीं छोड़ेंगे।
Their demands are clear. CBI and ED probe into recruitment scams. Cancel tainted exams and results. Fresh, fair and transparent examinations. Time-bound recruitment calendar. Action against paper leak culprits. Leak-proof exam and recruitment system. Transparent JPSC and JSSC recruitment. The parallels with Delhi are impossible to miss. Protesters say the Jantar Mantar movement inspired them to launch this fight. They claim the Hemant Soren government has yet to engage with them. The agitation has now acquired a political edge. Cockroach Janata Party founder Abhijit Deepke spoke to the protesters and extended support to their movement.
आप लोग स्टूडेंट्स झारखंड में प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हो, हम पूरी तरह आपके साथ हैं, हमारा पूरा सपोर्ट आपके साथ है और आपको किसी भी चीज़ की ज़रूरत रहेगी, आपकी जो भी रिक्वायरमेंट होगी आप हमें बता दीजिए, हम वो सारी चीज़ें करेंगे जो आपके आंदोलन को मजबूत कर सकती है।
The BJP, meanwhile, has stepped up its attack.
हमारा ये मानना है कि अविलंब सीबीआई जांच करा करके जेपीएससी जेएसएससी के तमाम मामलों पर जो छात्रों का मुख्य डिमांड है उसको पूरा किया जाए और जिस तरह से धर्मेंद्र प्रधान जी का इस्तीफा लिया इन लोगों ने, एक नैतिक जिम्मेवारी तय करते हुए, वैसे ही इन सारी गड़बड़ियों की नैतिक जिम्मेवारी करते हुए हेमंत सोरेन जी को अपने पद से इस्तीफा देना चाहिए।
The spark that ignited Jantar Mantar has now reached Ranchi. And with the movement gathering momentum and politics escalating, the pressure on the Hemant Soren government is only mounting. With Satyajit Kumar, Bureau Report, India Today.
Viewers, I'm going to bring in Ashutosh Ranka, spokesperson, Cockroach Janata Party. Thank you for joining us, Ashutosh, this evening. I want to ask you one uncomfortable question that many are saying.